Welcome everybody to Dope Check episode 29, live in person in Dallas, Texas. Post Champs. I'm here with, as always, to my left, maybe your right, the EU GOAT, Trei Zero.
How the hell are we doing? Wow. Wow.
This is incredible.
Yeah, nah, I can't stop smiling because, like, I don't know.
Because you're with the boys.
Yeah, I know, but, like, I'm just cheesing right now. Yeah, no, what a weekend. Could have been any better. It's definitely weird being here with the boys, like, you know, doing a podcast like this, but I'm now a permanent Texan resident.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell that story a little bit, what happened. Maybe if they don't know what happened, fill them in.
Me and Rab arrived in the great state of Texas.
Yeehaw.
We pulled up outside. Rab goes, my 3G ain't working. Let's get a taxi.
So mistake number one.
We pull up. We get to every taxi along the line looks fire. We've got GMCs. We've got the nice cars. We pull up to the front. No wonder no one took a taxi because this thing was horrendous. Beat up Toyota Camry, no AC.
I was like, are we sure we're going to have to get in this thing? I was very close to just calling it off.
To vetoing it?
Yeah.
And I wish he did because I wouldn't have lost my stuff. Anyway, this guy's blaring out classical music in the car. Nice. He's got no AC
That's what
on.
got me hooked, though. He was playing Chopin.
He's banging his head.
Symphony number 6. Rab
is just vibing.
No, yes. I looked at Rab. I'm sat there like this, like I'm dying. And I look at Rab. Rab's like, Chopin.
My guy.
Like, he goes, you not heard this before? I was like, Rab, when would I ever listen to classical music? And yeah, no, I got out of the car because I wanted to get out there as quick as I can, and just left everything in there. And then turns out when we tried ringing up the taxi company, the guy is illegally working for him.
Oh,
basically, he used to be a part of them. Probably got fired or something like that.
Kept the car, kept the stuff.
I'm surprised he got fired the way he was driving.
Has jet taxi stuck on the side of it. Like, yeah, it's just.
I hope you find your way home. And to my right, maybe your guys' left, we've got Giga Chad himself, Tactical Rabito. How you doing, baby?
Nah, I ain't doing that anymore. I did too much out this weekend. Joel looking good though. Yeah, what a weekend. It's good to be here. Can't believe it. Usually I go first on the intros. This time Trey went first.
Yeah.
What's that about? I ain't got no crazy stories like Trey though, to be fair.
Aura.
Nothing?
Yeah, no,
you've got.
No, I've been going through it the last few days, but you know, to be
fair,
fair, most of the time I'm at the
something
events, like, I'm just trying to get to bed, like, on time.
No, it's actually no bullshit though. Like he said, like you guys are probably like, yeah, okay, Rab, you're probably going out, something like that. He's legitimately, by 8, 9 o'clock, he's like, all right, boys, I'm gonna go wrap it up. I'm gonna get to bed. I gotta be up this time. Go watch a race. I gotta be up, film 4 videos. Like it's really mechanical. It's almost to the point. Are you a cyborg?
Yeah, on God. People asked me that before. But to be fair, it's been a good week for content, like, because the F1 was on. I was getting up at like 5:45, making COD video, making Valorant video, watching a race, making video, heading to the venue, running the pre-show, running the watch party, heading back, making the content at home, and then crashing out. Like that was.
I think you forgot like one important part of that though.
The drinks.
Little cheeky cocktail with Trey.
Yeah, a little cheeky cocktail with Trey. That's how we do it.
Yeah.
Day 1, cocktail with Trey. Day 2, cocktail with Trey.
I love how you make it seem like it was one cocktail.
Today's probably the only day I haven't drunk because I had too much to drink.
You had a sip of mine though.
Yeah, it was a small sip. It doesn't count.
It looked pretty big.
Nah, last night was ooh.
It was a good time though. It was a good time. It was the
Sunday night after party. You always got a
private after party. Saw the the boys, the OpTic boys were celebrating. It was a great time. The networking. People are all out. Everyone's finally stress free.
You know why I'm there? Like I'm having a look. I'm like, that's Simp. That's a Beezy. Where's Draza, bro?
Oh, okay. We're diving into it this way. Okay, before we get too deep into it, let's review, I guess, the weekend. How what we think about some of the results, some of the games, some of the storylines, how it concluded. Obviously, OpTic taking it. I'll start with Trey on this one. We started over here. You know what? Actually, let's start with Rab. You started the conversation. Let's go back to Rab with this one.
I just want to talk about the weekend first of all, like just the actual event itself. Like,
yeah.
Because when they said it was going to be in Allen, not in the heart of downtown Dallas.
Out of downtown Dallas.
With Hastro's facility, because it was meant to be at the American Airlines Center.
Yes.
Hex actually they're doing some renovations there or some shit. They couldn't run it as they wanted to run it. So instead, they ran it up here. And initially when I heard it, I was like, it's kind of out of the way. I don't know how packed the venue's going to be, like whether it's going to be sold out. But oh my God, like we've got to run it back with stuff like this as much as possible. It's these like hockey stadiums or anything to that effect that you can run the center stage. I know there's been lots of talk about it on Twitter today. Like JP was talking about it, Ben was talking about it, like coach of OpTic JP.
Yeah.
About trying to do this as much as possible, because that was the setup you got to go for. The center stage, the amount of trash talk it generated, the fact that you've got all the fans around everything, the walkouts through the crowd every time. Like, it was nothing like I've ever seen at a COD event before. And in terms of fans, it must be the most fans I've ever had at a COD event.
I don't know if it's the most ever, because if you remember Black Ops 3, the COD Next, remember COD Next?
That was in
or
COD XP or whatever.
COD XP, yeah, that was in the Forum in Los Angeles, so that's like 15,000 people. But to be fair, there was a reveal of a game, there was paintballing out, there was like crazy stuff happening there. Yeah. So in terms of
CDL for sure.
Yeah, CDL 100%. It was an incredible, incredible major. Yeah, the center stage stuff, I think I was telling you guys on Dope Check, when I came back from Major 4, that they were previewing and testing out the idea of having the stages facing each other. And even though we had some controversial moments, we were Clay standing up and Scrap saying some crazy stuff, but it honestly made the content good. It made it so much more interactive, and I think it was a great fan experience all the way around. OpTic killed it. You know, it was more like an OpTic. I know we were talking about that a little bit. It's been a little bit of controversy as well. Like, it was more like an OpTic event than it was a quote unquote everybody champs event. Trey, I don't know if you have a take on that and how you see it.
OpTic hosts every major. If we're talking about fan wise, they have home advantage every time.
Basically, yeah.
You know, even though, like, let's say Toronto versus OpTic at Toronto major, like, they're gonna have more Toronto fans there. But as soon as Ultra go out or OpTic are playing, all the Ultra fans will take their Ultra jerseys off, and guess what's under it? An OpTic Texas jersey.
Right.
Do I think there was crowd cheese there? There was way more crowd cheese there for sure in terms of for the support from, but they get crowd cheese all the time.
Yeah.
Do I agree that OpTic should have had like the rights to host the event like the way they did? I feel like it was a little bit weird considering it's champs, everyone's gone there, everyone's made their way there, but it just felt like a bit like more special treatment for OpTic because they're hosting it.
Yeah.
You know, the way they walked out at different VIPs, you got Hitch banging the drum. It would have been nice if it was like as neutral as like we got made it out to be. Like other teams could have been able to do some stuff with their stuff too.
Right.
But
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, end of the day, like OpTic won the event fair and square. I don't feel like they have the home crowd event every single event. Like, I don't think the crowd.
You don't think give them competitive advantage?
No, absolutely not. It's just, I don't know. It just seems weird to me that like they deem like the whole season to be like you're gonna make it to champs, yet a team can host champs.
Right.
Like
right.
that just seems weird to me.
Right.
I mean, in an ideal world, the league has the cash to bloody host the biggest event of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, did OpTic and their crew plus the esports engine crew do a stellar job of putting on this event? Absolutely. And I think it will make the league think to some degree about doing this next year. Like Toronto would do it. They would do a good job doing it, I think. That could be done. But, you know, the advantage that OpTic has, I don't think it was anything crazy. Obviously, it was a talking point going in. Obviously, the big pressure on everything. Like, in some ways, it was more pressure on OpTic because it was kind of expected, like, you're going to win champs. Like, this is the event you got to do it.
It could have been a negative, right? Because you're walking, you have the Dynasty walkout, you have all the green, you have Hex, you have the drums, you have just everything is on your back if you're that OpTic team to win this champs because it's all set up for you. So if you lose, or even, you know, let's say the round 1 or round 2, you bow out, how disappointing is this major now? You know, it changes up a lot. So
yeah, we needed this run. I mean, you know, the event, the storylines, the venue, the crowds, like also the way that it was executed. Like, I was so impressed at the production quality, the setup on the screens, you know, even the screens going around the venue, the like in the banners or whatever that would fly around about what team was playing, the walkouts. It was just electric to be there in person, honestly. And the orchestra, obviously, on the Sunday, like I heard about that on Wednesday, that they had like an orchestra planned. Because when we were there setting some things up Wednesday, like I heard a version of Skirt or whatever that was not the normal version. And I was like, something's going on.
He's like,
Like,
this is
they're
the
prepping
classical
something.
version.
Yeah, this is the classical version.
It's tickling
What
my
is this about?
ears.
Is this, is this the Chopin remix? or
There
some
we
shit?
go. There we go. There we
God,
go.
I can't wait till they get rid of that song, bro.
Nah,
It's
it's
a
iconic.
staple, bro.
It's iconic, bro.
I would pay some serious money to get rid of that goddamn song, bro. That sends me up the fucking wall. It was good. Listen, it was cooler hearing it orchestrated. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was so sick hearing it that way.
But the song still sucks ass. It's so bad. I was walking back with my drink and I was like, fucking nice. Decent version. This was going on. Look outside. Violins, fucking true.
Yeah,
like
it was
everything.
serious.
Popping, bro.
It was
Everything.
serious. I think OpTic did a stellar job.
I guess the other thing as well, like when you were backstage and stuff, it's not like what I was kind of not worried about, but at the Esports Stadium Arlington, when they used to do the OpTic home majors there, like OpTic would have the best room, you know what I mean? Like they'd have the biggest room, they'd have the pool table, they'd have the table tennis table, they got all the space.
Where were they sat this
and
time?
stuff in the corner. They were just with everyone else.
They had a regular PPA.
So like they had a regular PPA setup, just like every other team.
I didn't
So,
see them.
like-
I didn't see them at the back. Was that what they were?
They-
yeah,
they were the-
there's another one of the spots.
They were the one, if you walk in the back door, turn left, they were like the one on the left to right corner there. So they just had a regular like setup like every other team. So it wasn't, in terms of the practice facilities or the setup backstage, they had the same shit as everyone else, just a curtain, 4 PCs, and that was good. I mean, like, I don't think there was anything. People are going to talk about it. Obviously, in an ideal world, probably that's not how it is. But I thought it turned out to be brilliant. Like, as long as other orgs get the opportunity to do so in the future, I guess.
I mean, I just look at it like in terms of like Champions League finals and stuff like that. It's, or is it the same with like Super Bowls as well? That it's like in a neutral location as well.
Yeah, typically they don't host in the home or away team's arena.
Unless there's like an issue with like one of the stadiums with like UCL or something like that. 9 times out of 10, it's like neutral ground.
Yeah.
That's my only issue with it. It just have to. If I was another CDO team, I'd be like, you know,
Especially because they won it now, right? Like, obviously, it's going to create.
yeah,
that
no,
kind of
that-
A little bit
discussion.
more of a narrative, a little more drama. Yeah.
Obviously, I had this happen before on the show, where everyone was like basically saying like, oh, you know, Trei's moaning again because I'm just looking at it as a competitor and like an org standpoint. Like, oh yeah, everyone has the opportunity to host champs. If they said, oh, highest bidder wins, but they're always going to give it to OpTic.
Yeah,
If OpTic want to do it, it's tough to say no.
Yes. On another hand, I want to just say that like Rab was saying, Trei was saying, it was an incredible electric event. I think it sets the standard for hopefully for next season what just a regular major should look like. If we can get to Toronto, it'll sell out, and you can have something really special happening. Esports Engineering being part of it can now implement these things into another arena, another place, and we can kind of level up the COD experience for viewers. Because otherwise, I mean, if the fan experience isn't there when they pull up to an event with that much excitement, if it's whack like it was in, respectfully, Miami, I don't think anyone that went to Miami would want to go to a COD event again, honestly, genuinely. And I don't mean that with any disrespect to the Miami organization. It's just that was very lackluster and very disappointing. And I think on Sunday there was like 1,000 fans in the entire venue.
No, I mean,
So.
no, full disrespect. Let's just say it like it is. Like, don't pull up saying you're gonna host a major and deal with that shit show.
I mean, you had
Like,
Carolina who just last second backed out. That's even worse, to be honest.
Fuck those too.
That's even worse.
Like,
so
at least they Miami. At least they host an event, but like, we've got like this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, if we're gonna go like this, we either go from the best event at the start of the year and we just trickle down to the worst, or we go worst to the best. Don't give us like.
right now it's like this.
Yeah,
It's literally all over the
We
place.
start off with Boston, decent event.
Pretty good, yeah.
You know, we head over to Major 2.
Terrible.
Terrible. Head over to Major 3.
Amazing.
Fire. Major 4.
Wow.
Terrible.
Even
Go-
lower than Major 2.
Champs is
Go
insanely fun.
champs.
And the
Insane.
Champs the best of the best.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I heard for next year, obviously we can't say it. We heard it over dinner last night.
Yes. Yeah, there's something
We
to be.
might be back next year.
We might be back. Next
Yo.
year. There's a reason to be very excited for next year.
We're fucking back next year.
We're super back.
I honestly think that the live events, on average, are just they're getting back to and probably now surpassing the best ones, what it was like pre-CDL. Because when I was at London 2019 and then Anaheim 2019, fire events.
Yeah, but the issue with those is you can't even put those in comparison to
It's true. It's different nowadays because you ain't got the Bravo stream. You ain't got the challenges in the same way.
Not even that. It's just like take like CWO Atlanta for example.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
that's a mediocre event.
Uh-huh.
But then like the way I see it nowadays is like London and Anaheim, like CWO London and CWO Anaheim are now like the Torontos and the OpTics.
Yes.
We haven't really had those events for the last couple. Like, it took a couple of years. Obviously, COVID didn't help. But when the CDL first started, the quality of the events was just terrible compared to what we'd had the year before.
Yeah.
Like, going to London's home series 2020, like, everyone there was like, this is ass compared to last year. There's multiple reasons why. But nowadays, they're getting back to the point where these events are... I don't think there's been a better time for some of these live events. Like, the amount of people that are coming to the live events, I know that the overall viewership of the league might not be as good as it was last year, whatever, like no Twitch and all this. But for the live event experience, the amount of people I talk to and meet that are like, this is my first event. The majority of people I think I talked to this event was their first ever COD event.
Yeah.
I will
And
say
like every single one of them was like, I'm coming to more. Like,
Yeah, that experience is what
yeah.
gets them to keep reoccurring.
basically,
and wanting
everyone
to
that
fly
comes
and
to
show
these
up.
good events will want to come again.
100%.
I will say I do hope they try and keep like, obviously I don't deal with logistics, so don't fucking bite my head off, but just make the price a little bit lesser so people can come to these events more.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the people that I did speak to, they were just like, yeah, no, I'm here for like, I was like, because, you know, we have a little conversation with like fans and supporters, and I'm like, oh, you're here a weekend? Nah, I could only make it to Saturday, Sunday, it's all I could afford.
Yeah.
You know, which is, obviously that's just the way of life.
Yeah.
But we all agreed this event was pretty expensive, like to come as a fan. And if you did, I mean, you know, a lot of fans were buying me some drinks, you know, so we know they got a bit of Mueller wrapped up there. But the same with like people going to like these London events and stuff like that. I feel like we lost a lot of like fan love when the CDL first came in. When the CDL first came in, I felt like it was their way of like maximizing profit. Like with the London event, remember the events where you could pay to sit behind the main stage, behind the CDL logo. You guys remember that?
I don't know if I do remember this.
don't
You
remember
don't?
this.
I think it was in Minnesota. I don't. Someone can, you know.
Or the opening weekend? Or
I think something like that might, but I think they tried doing it for all the events, but you paid extra, you get to sit behind the players.
Oh, I actually do remember that. It was the week, like, the famous moment where Scump and Formal are talking trash to Crim when they've just beaten Dallas Empire. There's people sitting behind them, like behind the stage.
Yeah, and
I
that-
forgot about that.
And that's my
actually.
point. That's like the VIP
Wow.
experience, but like in CWO days, it was like you bought your ticket. I think you paid a little bit extra to get like the front row seats, but like after that, it's free for all. Now it's like, you know, go a bit crazy, which is cool, which I like. But you know, the one thing that makes these events the best are the fans. Like it's not even close. So I hope we can find like a good way to balance it all out to where we get like an event like this every single time.
I want more consistency, more Torontos, more this, even more Bostons. If we can get events like that throughout the whole year, I think viewership and people actually wanting to show up and, you know, invest in their team, CDL merch, all that kind of stuff is going to go up if you give them quality. Quality breeds quality. That's just kind of how life works, right? But speaking on so that's the event itself. Let's speak on a little bit more of the competitive side of the major itself. OpTic Texas, winners of the event, huge. I think that's huge for the COD scene as a whole, right? What do we think about their run and, you know, them, you know, actually, honestly, it was they kind of destroyed New York in the finals, to be honest.
I
So
mean,
what do
they
you think
didn't
about
lose
the
a
run?
series. It's pretty rare that OpTic win a tournament, especially nowadays, without losing a series.
Yes.
Like the tournaments that they won, the Vanguard tournament, did they win that probably all the way through? Because they reverse swept FaZe in the upper side, so I think they probably did win out.
They're still winners. Yeah.
But otherwise, you know, they came for losers before.
It doesn't seem this simple at any other event. Even if they win or lose, it's always like a struggle to the point where they either win the whole event or they're out of it through some like insane methods. This one just kind of seemed like it almost seemed like they were destined to win this event.
Genuinely, yeah. I think the Gorillas series, like when they won that Game 2 search, that was a big moment. I mean, everyone talked about it before the event. Like Game 2 search against LAG was going to be like one of the most important maps. Scum even talked about it going into the weekend on like how their Karachi search specifically was a crucial map to get better on because that's a map mode that all the top teams are going to want to play you on. and it was a map where they were struggling in par. So them leveling up there was big. But also just in Toronto, we talked about this. They won the Toronto event, but really they only played well on one of the days. Like it was only the Sunday where they really had that like insane energy. But they had that in the Gorilla series to some degree. But from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they were able to like recapture that lightning in a bottle, or whatever you want to say, that they had back at Toronto. Like they basically played with that energy and confidence. Pred, I think, is probably the catalyst for this in many ways, because like the energy that he brings to that team, and when he's playing in that way, he's actually playing as he should be playing the whole time. Like, okay, he is going to lay down sometimes, look prone and all this stuff, and he's going to sit in corners. Sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it's not. But in the respawn modes, when he's playing at that level, it was the Rio hardpoint they played in, maybe it was the grand finals, maybe the series before, but I think it was the grand finals, when Shotzzy was like 32 in 22 and Pred was like 28 in 20. And it's like, that's absolutely perfect. Got both SMGs frying, Shotzzy just 4 engagements quicker than Pred, right? It's like, that's exactly what you want. And you weren't seeing that from OpTic Online. And Karma admitted this after the tournament. He was like, yeah, we were getting criticized for good reason. Like, we'd fallen off. We weren't playing good COD. But I think the crucial thing...
So why is it what we criticise them then?
I know. But I think that the thing that they finally recognise this year, because it's been the same trend with OpTic every single year. They start well, usually. They'll probably win something or get very close to it. Then they'll fall off. They always fall off at some point. Every dominant team has this period. I mean, New York last year, they won the first event, fall off massively, they make the comeback. That's the thing that OpTic have always struggled with, is coming back from a slump and even in part believing in themselves that they can do it. I think that was a big part. So exactly where that came from, I think Kenny's been a big part of it.
Yeah.
Maybe there was someone else that was a big part of it.
Allegations.
I mean, we had the discussion over dinner. We won't bring it up, but we had that discussion over dinner. You know, we just make people better whether they don't like it or not.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like we have the most truthful podcast when it comes down to it. So if you want to get better,
we have no direct, as a whole.
The only direct bias
is me.
Yeah, it's you because
but as a whole, you guys have heard me critique that person and not critique that person. Lamar, if anyone doesn't know, I've critiqued him. I've said it. I've said Rocker should do this, don't do this, ask for this thing. So overall, though, as a bunch here, as a collective dope check, I think we are the most honest all the way around.
Oh, 100%.
But I want to give flowers. And I want to call a certain group of people morons, right? Directly to your face.
Here we
I'm looking at the camera for this one. Hey, Green, Wall, you guys remember a month ago, maybe 2, when you were saying to drop a certain guy named AG Pred? Remember that? Remember when you're calling for his head on a stake? Remember on Reddit when everyone was saying AG was the problem? If we're being $150 honest here, he's probably the MVP of the entire weekend. Hot take. Maybe you don't like it. Numbers don't lie. People do. Without Pred, this team doesn't win grand finals. Without Pred, Shotzzy isn't amped up the way he is. Without Pred, the energy of that team isn't even close to what it is. Pred was bailing them out of situation after situations. Yes, Shotzzy had a takeover on Sunday, and the searches getting through every scene and the controls as well. But consistency-wise, AG's the reason that OpTic are now the 2024 grand final champions of the world. You owe everything to Pred. Kiss his feet, you fucking morons. And secondly, anyone that said Dante was the problem, hey, you're a fucking moron. Absolute idiot. You're a casual. Don't talk hot again. And remember to listen to your daddies on Dope Check.
We could have dropped the new word.
We could have dropped the new word.
Ace could have dropped the new word twice.
No, I'm not getting set up like this, okay? No.
I would have joined you.
Whoever goes first, I'll join you, but, you know.
It ain't me, though.
Yeah.
It's difficult. I mean, look, there was a picture going around of Pred and Kenny last night, and those two guys deserve a lot of credit. I think I agree with you on the in-game stuff, that Pred is the catalyst. But I think on the outer game stuff, you can't underestimate what Kenny has done for the team, even just from a historical perspective now. Like, I think it kind of flew under the radar how successful Kenny already has been in his career, and certainly now. Because since he's come into the league, he's played 37 LAN events. He's been in the finals of 15 of them.
40. Oh yeah, that was the
41%.
That was the stat.
That was the
41%
stat, yeah.
of them.
So like, not far off half of tournaments that he's played, he's been in the finals of, and that's on. That ain't the Cole Dynasty. That ain't the OpTic Dynasty.
Yeah.
You know, this is on teams that have been good, obviously, and he's been a part of that. The Team Calibers back in the day, obviously, like technically OpTic gave me Los Angeles, although they didn't make a finals they made a finals online, but not on LAN. And then since then, the Los Angeles Thieves, obviously the success they have there, but you know, him making the finals 15 times, he's won 10 of those finals. Now a 2-time world champion, knows how to win, clearly knows how to put that culture into place, and that's what he said when he joined OpTic. Like his intention was to bring them the ring, and he'd done it before. Shotzzy also done it before, but that was a different, very different environment a few years ago in Dallas Empire. OpTic now become the first team to ever win 2 rings as an organization, as the same org in some way.
Yeah,
like
all time,
Envy,
not just CWL.
Envy
all
have done
time.
it, I guess, with like Envy and then Dallas Empire, and arguably that's kind of the same org as OpTic now. So
yeah,
in terms of like overall championship success, that cements OpTic's legacy even further. But just so many crazy storylines coming out of this one that I'm eating good.
Yeah, Kenny himself. I think I saw a clip of you saying this. Kenny might be, the most underrated player. He might be the most underrated player.
I mean, even just looking at the OpTic team, the only reason I feel like people actually acknowledge what Kenny does is because it's forced down their throats. They don't actually look at it.
Hey yo.
And
they were calling for Kenny to get dropped after Major 4.
Yeah,
I saw people.
Now do you see my point? Yeah,
Lay G was getting the brood of that. Let's be honest.
Some people were like, "Oh, Kenny's been asked for like 2 weeks. He's got to go." I'm like, and he didn't even have a great weekend. But we talked about it on the pre-show. It's like if there's one thing I would bet my house on Championship Sunday, it's Bandana Kenny playing lights out. And that's exactly what he did.
He did.
But this is my point. Yeah, is that obviously we're the professionals when it comes down to talking about things like it's forced down people's throats that Kenny's the one that leads them, the IGL and everything like that. Like, you just have to watch COD. You just have to watch the minimap. You just have to watch screen, the cameras. To know Kenny's the one that is actually helping these guys more than anyone else is helping them in game. There's a reason he's been in this many finals on this many different teams. Yeah, it's not because he's got the best teams in the world that he's playing with every single time. I wouldn't even say OpTic coming into this event. They
weren't the favorite at all.
I had them coming fourth.
Yeah.
No. I had them coming second, but like that was in a different prediction. Like I was scared of that, even making that prediction myself. I still didn't have them. I said they were going to make the finals. But I still after that top 12 they just had in that stint, I was like, they got 2 weeks to do something, and 2 weeks isn't a long time at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with the boys, I think everyone on there really kind of knew the situation they were in. 8,000 fans watching you, hundreds and thousands watching you, famous celebrities watching you day in, day out. They knew that they had to do something this event. And I said it as well, like, we're just going to speak about other teams, like joining in with this is, I think a lot of these top 4 teams peaked a bit too early during the year. And I think OpTic hit a peak in Major 3, and then hit the lowest of the lows for Major 4, and then it spiked straight back up. Like that's what a top team does. Yeah. That's like they weren't consistent, but they hit 2 peaks. Whereas I feel like the other 3 teams, Toronto, New York, steady, peak, and then
he's still peaking. New York was peaking, to be fair. Like they were playing good COD. The issue is that OpTic has that next level that they achieved in Major 3. I think they saw themselves. When we're all at max energy, this is what we can be. Mm-hmm. Highest potential. The ceiling was the highest, right? But getting back there and then maybe maybe a little complacency into Major 4, which we saw, obviously, the result of that, with some re-guidance, redirection, max potential, max talent, max awareness, good coaching all around. I don't think there's a team that could have peaked better, and I think when OpTic have the formula, if they're all in line, playing together with good coaching, everything's in line with the potential of ceiling and energy of that team, I genuinely do not believe any team, FaZe included, could beat that squad.
I think we saw this in Major 3, like the way they played on the Sunday, no one was beating them, no chance. like the ceiling that they have. We talked about it at the start of the year, is the highest in the league.
It's just
Like-
how they get there, how
Yeah,
consistently
it's
they
whether
can
they
hold
can
that
get there on
ceiling.
a
The only
consistent
Yes.
level.
the only
Yes.
team that played better than the best team that's played a Sunday,
Toronto Major one.
Toronto Major one.
Yeah,
that
Toronto
was fucking
Major One
insane.
was just, they were on a magic carpet just gliding through.
And,
Like,
and the funny thing is that like you will never replicate that.
well, it's Major One. Every year
No,
we can
I'm-
agree,
I'm-
right? Major One's always a kind of a
No, I'm saying
fugazi event.
I'm saying any team that finishes like a Sunday like that, like even OpTic Sunday at Major 3.
They were making no mistakes. Toronto Major one. It was insane.
And like major,
Yeah, they were just cleaning up.
Major 3 OpTic would pretty much doing the same thing. They were just running through them.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like it's, as a professional, it's so hard to have that consistency, but when it's in, it's in.
It looked like for the first time they hit it though,
Yeah.
like every day.
The thing is as well, OpTic got better every day, I
Yes.
think. Like from Thursday, Friday, like they genuinely every day they improved. And I think I was expecting the same from New York because they started the tournament, they had that close series against Surge, like they could have lost it. And they just went game 5 every series, but I was expecting New York to just play better and better. 'Cause
Well,
that's usually what they do.
The issue with New York was
Well, before we get to New York, I need to give flowers to one more person.
We have to finish on OpTic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's finish
yeah.
that, because New York is a big
Same in
discussion to be
general.
had on them
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Big
Of course,
about
of
them,
course.
about FaZe, of course, and even Toronto. But I was gonna say, Dashy,
We've got to talk Dashy.
Dashy, man, 7 years in, gets his ring. Scump, 7 years in, gets his ring. It makes you think.
Makes you think.
It makes you think.
makes you think it was all rigged. Yeah, I agree.
No,
Such a good storyline though.
yeah, this is the narrative, the storyline. I'm really happy for Brandon for making that happen for himself. I mean, I really appreciate too the fact that he had a stinker finals. Generally, like it wasn't the greatest finals appearance, and he even acknowledged it when they interviewed him. My teammates are gross. I couldn't buy one. Him even saying that, I just love his character. You could tell his growth from a younger Brandon, a younger Dashy. You could tell that he's matured a lot. He's doing everything he needed to do. When he had like 2 minutes and something seconds on the real hard point, like he's okay being a Hilkin. He's playing his role perfectly. Him, Ken, Pred, Shotzzy. It's a seamless team if they can just keep egos in line, confidence brewing. Into next year, I'm so excited to see what kind of tear they can go
I mean,
on.
I will speak. Obviously, I'm not Brandon in this situation, but Brandon Dashy, for anyone that's not on the first name basis. Dashy had to win this event. Right?
Yeah.
He had to win a champs. He had to win this event, and I think it's just safe to say that I think he was a little bit nervous going into it.
Probably.
Just because this was you give him champs now, like because he's done it now. You give him finals next year, he's frying.
That's what I'm saying.
He's a scary. That's scary to think about.
Because
this is him playing badly. Imagine him like in a finals with this same squad playing well. What they could do.
And obviously, I feel like everyone's going to be nervous going into it. But like, I'm just saying, like, I feel like Dashy had
There's
a lot
more pressure on
There was
Dashy
more.
than
There was
anyone
more
else.
riding on Dashy than anyone on that main stage.
Yeah,
And
100%.
in the most respectful way possible to the other competitors. This guy had to win. He's been getting called to be dropped for.
I mean, he
I'd
literally
say-
was dropped.
I'd say like 4
Yeah,
years.
literally was dropped.
I'd say like 4 years. All the fans have been like, oh, he's not showing up. He's not trying. He's playing
Overrated.
streaming Val, like everything like that. Which also on that topic, yes, he was streaming Val even after the top 12 because that's a chill game to play because you can have fun and chill and play other games when you're competing. So stop crying like little bitches as always. All right. Because that's what they do.
Yeah.
Listen, these are professional players and let them do what they want to do to be the best they can be. But
They're not gonna play Val one day and all of a sudden forget how to shoot their guns. This doesn't work like that.
unless you're Snoopy. I had to drop that for you. I had to,
That's nice, that's
but yeah,
I didn't
no,
have to say it. All good.
But literally, like he had to win this event, and I think he was just. I think there was just more nerves for him than anyone else, which,
Understandable.
yeah, it's understandable. You give him finals next year, I guarantee it's 1.4, 1.3, 1.2.
I think that's the scary thing as well, is that I felt this after Major 3 to some degree, because I think that was an important event for him to win. But Champs was a different story, because this was the one that, like, everyone was there, like, obviously everyone's family's there.
Yeah.
But for Dashy, even though the conversation going into Champs was more about Pred and, like, Hydra for Pred and all this stuff, the reality is that if they'd bombed out of Champs this year, Dashy's time would probably have come to an end, I think, on the team. Because I think realistically, if OpTic no bull, which they clearly do, Kenny shouldn't go anywhere. Like, I think that should have been clear after Major 3 that if you're getting rid of Kenny, you're making a serious mistake. So if you are going to try and if the team bombed out and you've got to make a move, Dashy's the one who was under the most spotlight at that point, right? Because you've formed this Shotzzy Pred duo. There's other options out there from an AR perspective potentially. Like obviously Scrappy might be available, and stuff like this is possible. So there was just so much pressure on him to deliver here, because obviously even this year there's been talk about like turning up to practice and this type of stuff.
Yeah.
But just the fact that he's been able to mature so much, change his play style in the way that he has, and just completely lock in as this player. I always love the conversation and the comparison with Formal, right? Because in many ways, Formal, Dashy's kind of like Formal's protege, right?
Yeah.
And even before the event, Formal mentioned how he was talking with Dashy and be like, right, gauging his mindset to see, is he mentally checked out, or does he still believe they can do this? And I think Dashy's come a long way as an individual over the last few years to get to the point where we can finally see that talent be rewarded by a world championship ring. So yeah, super happy for him.
Yeah.
Happy for his like family and everything. Like his mom and his like, they're just such great people.
Yeah, they pull up to almost every most events. Honestly, they're just supporting him. So super happy. And I want to add too, just the level of pressure he was under. Right, he's a free agent after this year.
Yeah.
So he loses, they bomb out. He is not even just kind of most likely gone. He is like 95% chance gone if they bombed out. If they got top 3, 4, 5, whatever it was.
It's like the Dashy experiment, right? It's like
the 7 year,
talking point
like
of
the
how many years
6,
he's been
7 year
for OpTic.
Dashy experiment.
Well, now you've given Boston an opportunity to carry on for 7 years. So
You know?
they
So
may.
that's like this is the crazy part for Dashy. So again, solidifying his spot, and I hope he renegotiates for the most insane bag and puts it away. Now, I mean, let's talk about New York. I know you want to.
No,
jump in
just
there.
one more quick thing.
Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to say.
One more quick thing. How many more quick things?
Okay,
man?
a quick little thing. Because I know there's a conversation about what this means quickly for like the top 10 of all time list.
Yeah.
Where some of the players now reside. Because Kenny's now a 2-time world champion. Shotzzy's now a 2-time world champion. And obviously if Hydra had won the event, there'd have been a convo on that as well.
Back-to-back world
Back-to-back
champion.
winner, back-to-back MVP probably. But Kenny is like, you're looking at your top 5 all time. You're looking at your Crim, your Scump, your Karma, your Clay, your Formal. Aches has got to be there. J-Cap's got to be in the conversation.
apathy.
Ab is on the borderline to me. He's borderline top 10 in my opinion. He's there with Slasher.
That doesn't know ball.
Nah, that's actually facts though. But like Slasher and App have been like borderline top 10. But now we've got Simp and Abeezy getting into the mix.
Slasher.
Slasher's not top 10.
I mean, he's on the borderline. I mean, okay, look, you can debate this all day. What I'm saying is
gonna jump in
that
or
Kenny and Shotzzy now, they're up there. You know what I'm saying? Shotzzy especially.
Over
Kenny
Simp and
especially.
Abeezy.
But yeah, I was gonna throw Simp and Abeezy in that mix as well.
That's the other question.
But
Like, are they ahead now of Simp and
like
Abeezy?
our top 10 list is like it's becoming like a bit too packed.
It is a bit too packed, yeah.
Our top 10 list is becoming 14 people. So how does this work? Because
Well,
it's not top 10, it's like-
at end of the day, I feel like with the recency bias of how everything is now, the older guys are just gonna get pushed out, which is absurd.
yes,
But like, I couldn't make a top 10 list for you right now. I could give you 5 just purely based on
accolades and just the
yeah.
facts of matter here.
Yeah. But you told me to give you a top 10 right now. I couldn't because, we got Slasher, we got App, we got Cap,
Simp, Abeezy.
easy. Like, even if we're selling there as well. Like,
Nah.
No, I'm just saying like near discussion. Like,
Nah,
he's going to be like top 15 though.
Nah.
Top 20.
So
Tell top 20.
overrated.
Overrated. You're insane for the overrated done.
But,
Guys
like,
got to 1.2 for
yeah,
10 years.
nah,
bro.
You know I'm a hater.
Huh? Yeah,
No,
certified
no,
hater central
I
right
like-
here. It's right here.
Nah,
Exposed.
look, I like Cell, no problem. But
that-
I've been talking about his comms.
You told me you wanted to knock Sell out.
I've been talking about his comms for a good minute.
Well,
And
listen.
I feel vindicated right now.
Well, listen. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk
Yeah,
about
we'll
it.
get
Top-
into
Cause-
that. Yeah.
Top 10 list.
But it's just like, so let's say Simp Abeezy, 2-time world champions, pre-CDL as well for them. So like they've done it before.
Yeah.
With Shotzzy, he's only done it from CDL. Maybe a little bit different. To me, like of those 4,
and
Simp
one
is
is
the
online.
highest.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah, one's also online for Shotzzy. That's true as well. Like Kenny now with the 2 rings.
But like Simp and Abeezy are still over them though.
Yeah, you got to give because
I mean,
consistency is something, bro.
Now you're recency bias just because of this event.
Yes, you are
right,
hard.
You can't
Probably, yeah.
You can't put Kenny and Shotzzy over Simp and Abeezy in any format right
This guy's
now.
gonna reveal his green wall tattoo right now in 2 seconds. Green. Oh.
We have spoke about consistency the whole time. FaZe have been the most consistent team since
Mm-hmm.
CDL started.
If I was gonna order those 4 players, let's say it was those 4. Simp. This is me. Simp, Kenny, Abizi, Shotzzy.
Yo, that is crazy.
I think that's facts. Like, I think
41% of grand finals.
I think Kenny. I agree.
What do you want to say? 41%. This guy. What do you want from me? And again, I always cheese this, but I mean, some people can love it or hate it. If Simp and Abizi which they never will, would separate and see what they would do, I'm very curious how that would go. It's never going to happen. We'll never know. Kenny has done it on multiple teams, multiple rosters, multiple orgs, different games, different generations.
I think Kenny's career is more impressive than Abizi's.
You might be right, to be honest with you.
That's why I say Simp, because Simp is
You might be right,
genuinely
but
a generational talent. Abizi is too, but Simp is the top dog. Then Kenny, because of just what he's done with different teams. Abizi right there. Then Shotzzy. But again, let's be fair. Let's be clear. This is no disrespect. This is all like this is a conversation.
These are
top 10. Yeah. We're saying top 10 players in COD history type thing.
Yeah.
So this is not disrespect. It's just how I would look at it personally. If you have a different opinion, put it in the comments below if you want to. I mean, hey.
With less malicious intent as possible, please, because when someone agrees with you, it's never that. No, I disagree with you, Ace. It's always, Ace, you fucking moron. I don't fucking like you. You fucking
I'm
idiot.
used to it, Trey.
Ace, you fucking idiot. I hope you die. That list is wrong. This is my list.
Yes.
No, honestly, I just disagree with you there. But now that I'm thinking about like, for how long Kenny's been competing against top dog dynasty squads, like he's not been on FaZe to do this. He's doing it without that.
Yes, he's been doing it at some points against FaZe. You know what I'm saying?
I'm agree with you.
Yeah,
I'm agree with you on that list. I'm agree with you.
What do you think about that top 4? That order of them? Would you change anything?
I don't think so. I think I like that, to be fair. I think Simp's done enough just in terms of consistent performances. I think for me, Simp and Abizi were always very close to being 1-2 in terms of their own team. But there's now been a couple of years, right, like Vanguard, and now this year, where Abizi has been obviously very good, but not as good. Like Abizi this year was not as good as Hydra. He was not as good as Kleenex. Like, he was not as good as...
Nah, he was better than
Shotzzy.
Kleenex.
You think? Yeah.
Yeah, he's better than Kleenex.
Okay, maybe I'll put Abizi and Kleenex maybe on a par.
I think
Abizi was like top...
We don't look at Abizi that...
5, 6,
we don't look at Abizi that much, though.
Because he's oversighted.
with Simp.
Yeah, the shining star is here. It's the Jordan Pippen duo. Jordan gets all the shine and the praise, but Pippen was doing a lot behind him.
Listen, it's the exact same as Shotzzy Pred.
Nah, no, I disagree. Hard disagree. That duo, it's weird because that duo.
Bro, we're talking Shotzzy here, like.
No.
When you think of OpTic, you think of Shotzzy. When you think of FaZe, you think of Simp.
Well, they've only been together for a year. It's not a first
No,
person.
I'm just saying, like, that's like how it is. Like, that's the duo-ship. Like, Shotzi's always like Simp is like the guy that's going around, like, you see the 4 pieces Simp gets and stuff like that. It's all like, Simp and Shotzzy are different players. Let's get out of there for a second. Right?
Yeah, agreed.
But like, Simp drops a 4-piece. It's a smart 4-piece. Shotzzy drops a 4-piece. It's a 360 dolphin dive. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Where
like in the control when he's just making it through every scene possible in their spawn, going under tanks and jumping off of something. It's incredible. Yeah,
That was flow state.
that was straight flow state. I mean,
Let's do New York.
yeah, I'm just we've been riding the OpTic train, and let's talk about the losers of the grand finals in New York.
are we gonna do you want to just talk about everything in general?
What do you mean everything in general?
Just like with New York, like.
Actually, no, we have to do one more thing real quick.
Oh my god.
Oh,
They're going to ask us to talk about Lamar. We have to say something about accuracy.
What do you have to say?
Well, there's nothing we
Well,
can say.
because Pred said on stream today that, Lamar was in the call with them, but he weren't really helping them. Like
Yeah, then I saw that smile he done and I said, fuck off.
That's what I'm
Listen,
saying
end of
too.
the day, nothing can be said. Whatever's there, whatever happened,
We'll
happened.
see what they say over the coming
All I'm
days.
saying is Lamar was caught with a call with them and they won champs.
It's got to be something
So
in that.
he was coaching, he wasn't coaching, he was playing Among Us.
He was just playing Valorant with the boys.
Like, Dashy hit him up for his fucking DPI. Like, listen, end of the day, we ain't going to talk about it in terms of like, because end of the day, we got to respect it as well. Obviously, we had Lamar on the watch party all weekend. We kept trolling him with that as well.
The
Of
chat was
course.
trolling it.
Everyone was trolling him.
Of course.
Like, until there's an official announcement, until something official gets said, congratulations to Lamar for
Congrats, OpTic Lamar.
yeah.
My God.
No, congrats to Lamar for, if he did help, then congratulations. If he didn't, you're a fraud. Because everyone's gassing him up and he's loving Twitter.
I mean,
right
again,
now.
everything's just let it pass by. No one's saying anything. Let it rock. You know, I say just let it rock. But
Yeah.
now, Rab, can we move on, Rab? Are we good?
We can move on.
Thank God. Oh, every time it's one more thing. No, 3 more things.
Actually,
New York. So the losers, right, came so close, almost to their back-to-back chips. I think Rab. I'm gonna start with Rab here. Rab, what do you think? Where does this leave Hydra's legacy? Losing the second, his second finals, but he's there in the finals again, back-to-back.
it's kind of like what happened with Simp, I mean, like, they could have won 4 in a row. Like, Simp and Abizi made 4 Champs finals in a row.
Yeah.
19, 20, 21, 22.
Can I hold
like,
$10, bro? Like, shit.
Damn.
I mean, that is crazy. But I mean, yeah, like, Hydra's legacy would have been insane if they'd have gone back-to-back here this year. Still, I think, on that stage, I don't know if I said in my video earlier today, I still think Hydra was the most talented player on the stage. I don't know if talent is quite the right way to say it, because I think I may argue that Shotzzy, in terms of talent,
I think they're just neck and
is
neck.
potentially neck and neck.
I think they're neck and neck.
But I think in terms of like the best, I still think Hydra's the best player in the world on some level. Maybe that doesn't make him the MVP just because of the way the season went, but watching his POV is different. He was unreal all weekend. He had like, to be fair, his Saturday wasn't the best.
No, I will say, like, he's still unbelievable, but he started off on a high and it just dribbled down.
Yeah, I guess it's true. I
But,
guess he played better
the
on better
issue is
teams.
you're asking too much of him.
Yes.
Yeah.
The issue is you're asking too much of him.
Yeah.
He can't drop 1.4s every
No,
series.
respectfully to Hydra and his team, everything like that. Like some players on his team just didn't turn up.
Some players? Trey, are we going to name the players?
I mean, I think quite a few players. This is what we were talking about, right? Like, subliners did not play at their peak levels on that Sunday, and honestly, arguably for not a lot of the weekend. Like, we'll talk about this later, but like, FaZe played trash this weekend. Like,
Oh, yeah, we're going to get to that
like,
for
they
sure.
should have lost to Miami.
Wow.
Maybe could have lost to Miami.
They should
Like,
should have lost to Miami.
Yeah, and then obviously they got bopped out of the tournament. Toronto, like, hey, they make a bit of a run, but like, they ain't quite, like, Clinics had a pretty poor weekend. So New York just really capitalized on teams that's playing bad around them, but then when they played a team that was actually playing lights out, they just got slammed. Sky's had some clutch moments, but in the finals he was kind of non-existent. Sib played really well. Like, Sib deserves a lot of credit.
Sib was my
Sib
Sib would have won MVP for me if New York won.
Sib is my MVP of the weekend.
Now,
MVP of the if you were obviously wait don't do that, don't give me that face. MVP of the weekend in terms of individual standout player, I'm giving it to Sib, because in your first finals, going as consistently as he was,
He's pretty cold as well. Like,
it's either
Yeah, that's a pretty
it's
icy
funny,
moments.
but
you got some aura.
the Abedi
No, not
Institute
just.
the Abedi Institute gave us Pred and gave us Sib. Those 2 guys are you have 1 and 2 choices. The guys that people were saying the whole year to drop are the 2 MVPs of champs. It's either this guy or that guy. That's it. So that team, I think Dante.
In your opinion.
Huh?
In your opinion.
No.
Because Shotzzy did win MVP.
yeah.
No, well,
Shots did whatever.
Like,
he did win MVP, but I'm saying I still think for individual teams,
yeah, so it's in your
AG had the highest KD of the weekend. Do we know that? Yeah, fair. 1.19.
No, for sure.
1.19.
But like the same way that Kismet opens the map for Hydra is like the same way that Shotzzy opens the map for everyone else.
Oh yeah, 100% agreed. 100% agreed.
I think Shotzzy has the hardest role in COD history.
the hardest role.
Yeah,
I think hardest role.
bro, this guy, man, but like
There's no one else you can put.
but
in his
you, but
spot.
you don't sit like.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
He's not. He's
Yeah,
not.
yeah, I see
he's
what you're
not.
saying now.
And it's not like a role of like the entry sub. This guy is.
He's the magician sub.
No, this guy is making people tweet 24/7. Like, yo, where the fuck Shotzzy?
There are some maps that are just designed for him.
You remember that play on Karachi on the control where he jumped across into the room? Everyone lost him.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
He won him the round because of that play alone.
Yeah.
And everyone's gonna sit there like, Shotzi's just done some cool movement. No, he just made New York tweak for a
He
minute and a
made the
half.
play.
The last round of invasion when he was hopping from treehouse to blue to the bottom stores, getting to their gas, getting back up, like, bro, you
It
can't
was like the
you can't
same
track
shit
the
he
guy.
did on. It was a Berlin hardpoint back in Vanguard. I forget who it was against now, but he made some crazy play like that. I think it was against. I don't know if it was against like Thieves or against like Captain or someone on the other team. But Shotzzy had some insane. He was literally like that again.
But that's my point. He
was
does
just
it
running
so
rings around him.
Hydra does it in S&D. That's why, like, you see Hydra do the S&D plays, but Shotzzy does it so like what's the word? Nonchalantly. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Nonchalant's a good word.
Like he
He's
just
nonchalant. He's this close to the screen. I don't know if it's nonchalant. It's very targeted what he's trying
no.
to do.
What I'm saying, like it's like he doesn't even, in my opinion, doesn't even think about it. It's just so second nature to him to just
That's what you're saying.
do these plays, and like once he's in the moment, like I don't think he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's just moving. He's just moving.
Instinct to that
Yeah,
point,
instinct
yeah,
and
it's just
movement.
Yeah, like he's just that good.
Yeah. Speaking on someone who needs to enable someone, Kismet, man. the New York, genuinely.
He might be.
Let me lock in.
Yeah. He's sitting up.
Hey, I'll
New York had the opportunity, in my opinion, if he was by Sunday, -90 on a stat line of the weekend. So I don't even know what his stat line was on Sunday. I don't think it was good. He's probably negative 100 at some
I
point.
know he had a series where he had 60 kills and 104 deaths.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So he
and
was,
they beat FaZe in that series.
yes, -90.
Can you like chill? Like, bam.
I have two questions for you guys. Who wants to take it can take it. But if Kismet doesn't go -90 or -100 after the whole weekend, do we think the result is different for New York? Second question is, do we see Kismet replaced after a performance like that to close out the year?
Yes and yes.
I mean, let me go real quick.
Yeah, Cook.
So, thing is with Kismet, right?
What's his name? Because you love this name.
Okay.
You love this name.
You are the enforcer of this.
I'm
name.
not allowing you to start this just calling him Kismet because you have been enforcing this name for like.
No, I'm gonna
4
drop
months.
it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm gonna drop it.
Yeah, but like I thought you were gonna
Let him
start.
cook.
Yeah.
Let him cook. Let him cook. Let's see what he got.
Yeah. I mean,
your shots.
the majority of series that he played, Kismet was coming to play.
There it is, man.
Like, you know, all I'm saying is, last year's World Championship Grand Final, this guy was standing up, pointing at Scrappy, pointed at the trophy and saying, "This is my trophy." That was the Bulldog. Was the Bulldog there this year? I swear we got a different dog.
Dog.
And less dog. Much less dog.
No,
I
we
was
just-
saying it on the watch
we
party.
just
I
got
think
no
Kismet
dog.
used up all his dog.
Wasn't even no dog. We just got the dog.
Yeah,
Like,
we got
he
we
was
got
A
a
dog.
He-
Last year
yeah.
was the dog. We got a dog.
Yeah,
this
we
time.
got a dog this year.
Yeah.
Or he was just dog.
Yeah, he was actually dog. Most of the time he was dog. But like, did you see Kismet this year? How many times did we see the Bulldog or 99 Kiss come to play? We didn't see it that much
Major
this
4.
year. Yeah, Major 4 was one.
And look how easy that was for him.
Yeah, he was playing lights out at that point. And it's
but-
like, okay, the potential's still there. But for whatever reason, the big crowd, the big environment, I definitely think that stage got to New York to some degree. And it seemed to get to Kismet. I mean, he didn't play bad in the finals compared to his other series. But like, he had some stinker series on this weekend that he obviously thinks are unacceptable. But I just think, like, something's changed a little bit. He didn't seem like the same personality this year. I don't know if you feel that. Maybe he was. But, like, that energy that we saw from Kiz last year, didn't have that this year.
Has New York ever played OpTic in finals?
In finals, I don't think so, but they were getting bopped by them on land in general.
No, I'm saying like
I don't think they have.
because finals is a different breed,
Of course, yes.
I don't think they have.
and you know usually we see New York vibing, laughing, you know, because you know I feel like you know if New York play FaZe or anything like that, they're the favorites to take it. Or New York versus Toronto,
Yeah.
New York probably the favorites.
Yes. That was my name.
For the fans.
Yes.
This was a different beast for anyone to tackle. Like I could not imagine FaZe being in that finals versus OpTic. Fucking hell. Fuck you, Draza Chance would have been fucking going crazy.
They were shook this weekend
I
as
think
well.
I think
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think anyone that plays OpTic in the finals, especially at this champs,
Chalked.
if it's your first time, chalked. And I'm agree with you on that one. They did not show up. Like
It wasn't just Kiz. I mean, like,
No, the whole-
Skies was kind of non-existent.
they didn't look.
The teamwork wasn't
They
there.
didn't look
Like,
confident.
I'm not gonna lie. OpTic made some mistakes at the start of the tournament. The first couple of days, it's search and destroy, throwing rounds like classic
Yes.
problems. Lamar was fuming, and some of them,
I wonder
like,
why.
especially that first series. Some, the second series, and so, yeah.
I don't know what you're
my
talking
guy.
about. I don't
I don't know. I don't know why he was so
I don't know why
annoyed.
you brought him up. I don't know what
I
you're
don't,
talking
I don't know why he was so annoyed. Like he was watching them play, being like, fucking,
Yeah, I
I
don't
told
know.
him to do that shit.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But okay, usually what happens with OpTic when things start to go wrong, they start solo challenge, you know, one by one, not getting trades. That shit was what New York were doing. The comms were obviously falling off to some degree. As I say, Skies was kind of like a non-factor on the grand finals at times. Left last alive every round, didn't win anything.
Wow.
That was fuming to watch.
No,
honestly.
No, it will stick in my mind the fact that he was there every life, and Kismet was by what? It was by A-bomb.
Bro,
When he was playing the rat spot, the bomb was planted. He has a perfect shot. The guy gets away, slides into diner, and then Kismet just bottles the round.
I'm
That's
sorry.
never
that-
gonna-
that
that's-
was a
that will
bad
burn
one.
in my
That
memory
was a bad
forever.
one.
I don't like. Either they was nervous on that, but Kismet just kept dying on S&D so stupidly.
Yeah, there was
So
some
stupid. Like,
just
bro,
troll
he would be
rounds,
holding
yeah.
some angle and get killed from some other angle that, like, I would never see him usually do. That's why I think he was just nervous.
The play on the Karachi as well, the Karachi search, when it was literally the round 11, right, against OpTic,
yeah.
and it was a 3v4 on offense, like really
Shotzy's
tough
got
one
to the
for
top.
OpTic. Shotzzy gets spotted by Skies,
Oh,
is in the
yeah.
top of the church, and Kiz is like kind of too scared to chow him, but then he's a bit indecisive, and eventually he does chow.
So he's top of the vending machine, right?
yeah,
on
by the
top,
time,
yeah,
by,
it
the, by the
was-
time, by the time he chows him, shots come down, got good timing on
Yeah,
him.
just guns him, yeah. And then win the
But
round.
this is my point about that play in particular. There's nowhere for Shotzzy to run.
Oh yeah, he's trapped.
Sit on top of your vendor machine.
Yeah, he could just held
sit
it.
up there, just sit there, wait for him to come down the stairs. You've got two choices. You
He's
either
trapped.
go for him as soon as he shoots, as soon as you know he's up there, get someone with him, go for him together, or just sit on the vending machine and wait till he runs into you because he can't go anywhere. Instead, I can't believe he didn't get that kill, and that to me just like I think
That
if
sums up the weekend in some way.
I think if
Yeah.
Hydra watches this event back, he's gonna be like,
Okay, so this is the next point, right?
Yeah,
Obviously,
the
it's
next
question
question,
you asked,
I put forth.
because last year, these guys won champs
yeah.
and they made a change. Now, last year was a bit different because it was quite clear that there were some upgrades coming through. Like, FaZe were trying to upgrade, Toronto were trying to upgrade, OpTic were trying to upgrade. So New York felt like they had to do the same if they wanted to win. And in hindsight, they made a good call.
They were correct.
I mean, there's no chance in my mind. Like, I think Priest is a good player, but I don't think he was that good at this game. I think in hindsight, they made the right.
Yes, I agree.
I would just say, like, I don't think you should change after champs, regardless if, like, you're the best team in the world at that point.
If you win, obviously.
Yeah, if you win, you're the best team in the world. I don't think you need to make a change. I think, like, there was a lot of speculation about New York's change and why it was made. But I will say that, in my opinion, they did get an upgrade with Sib. I just don't think you upgrade after champs when you win it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just what is it like? Just the
You're the best team in the world.
the principle of it.
Yeah, the
basically,
principle. Yeah, you're the best team in the world. So, but they didn't win this time.
But yeah, so do we see Kiz or Skies get moved to New York?
I think
Real questions. And I have to throw in the mix as well, just because to make the possibility. Some people are gonna just say no, just to say no. But FaZe got top 6, so
right,
chance
well,
of the chance of
wait,
movement
wait,
there, right?
listen, if we're
Toronto
gonna-
got what top 3?
Top three.
Top 3. So they probably didn't perform as well as they thought they were going to. So there's a lot of chance of movement now after that happens. So do we see Kiz dropped or Caesar dropped? And if yes, which one or both?
All right, I can promise you, Caesar's going nowhere.
Ooh,
Him and Hydra came in together. That's the only reason Hydra's on New York. Like, Hydra and Skies are on New York is because Hydra pretty much brought him there.
Depends if Hydra's the warlord.
You know Hydra's the
Hydra,
warlord.
bro. If Hydra's not the warlord, who is?
Nah, so
Me?
you,
Like who?
you,
would
you,
be the
so
warlord?
you remember
Warlord
you,
isn't
you,
like,
you
yeah,
remember the
got no-
off season where Hydra
Sure.
and Skies were playing a lot of Valorant.
Yeah, what I still do.
Like, Hydra and Skies, they're fine. I think Skies need to change his play style. I think Skies need to play a lot faster, and I think he needs to stop this S&D bullshit where he is last alive every fucking time.
Yeah.
Because it's every single round, it's Skies last alive.
Yeah.
Which I know there's some players that play Island and stuff like that, but it's getting a bit tedious watching Hydra Kiz die straight away.
Hydra's also got to fucking do it all as well. Like, he is literally the first blood guy, and he's the get the kills guy, and he's the win the round guy.
And I think you saw it.
Like-
I think you saw it in the last 2 series going into it that it's not the consistent play style. Hydra's not gonna be able to do it 24/7. He's gonna get burnt out doing it at every tournament possible.
And even when he does drop 15 in that game, he still loses.
I disagree with the burnout though. I don't think he's burnt out. I think once you get to the higher teams and the higher
No,
pressure
I'm
moments,
saying I'm saying he can get burnt out.
No. What I'm saying, I don't think he burnt out. I think when you get to those higher pressure moments where the best teams are making less and less mistakes and more teed up, he needs support from his teammates more. I think he's still playing very well.
Yeah,
But
that's
him dropping 50 on a shit team in round 1 or 2 of the tournament is very different compared to grand finals when you need Kiz to step up. You need Kiz to get that first entry. You need Kiz to get that kill to make his life easy. Other teams are now watching every pinch. They are looking in that corner when they scrimmed in that one time that he's playing some rat spot. It's a lot more, he's not going to play as well compared to early in the tournament, which means that his teammates need to enable him and be playing to that degree, which I think Skies and Kismet just were.
That's what I'm saying.
Dropping the ball.
We're basically agreeing with each other. When I'm saying he's going to get burnt out, it's because he's going to pull up his scoreboard and see Kiz is fucking not doing what he needs to do. And he's like, fuck, I need to fucking sprint across the map and do this and do this and do this.
Yeah.
You know.
Like at some point it gets you.
Because we
like,
saw how easy it was for New York when Kiz was frying.
Oh my
Look
God.
at Major 4.
It was unbelievable.
Look at Major 4.
Hot knife through butter. Just
But,
easy.
Like.
it's almost like a Hicksy thing.
But OpTic had 2 weeks to come from top 12 to win champs. Kiz had 2 weeks to be 99 Kiz from Major 4 to 99 Kiz from champs, and he just wasn't.
And this is why, like, you look at those teams, and this is always the question with Kiz as to whether he obviously has talent to some degree, but when you watch his POV, he ain't shooting like the top SMGs.
Good point.
In my opinion.
Last year, I'll give it to him. This year,
Snake and cheese.
This year, I don't know what was up with him, but he wasn't consistent.
Yeah.
Skies for me ain't going anywhere. I just think if I'm Hydra or I'm Do-Real or something like that, when you see New York versus like OpTic in the finals or something like that, you saw how slow Skies was on the map. And
it's interesting that you're saying that he won't go anywhere, but then you're also critiquing him very heavily. So I don't know why. I don't know why. Just because he's friends with Hydra, is that why you're saying he's staying?
No, I'm critiquing I'll critique his gameplay, but I don't feel like he needs to go.
Okay, so you don't feel like he's the center.
I just think if like you got Hydra on your team, you got Sib on your team, like you got to be moving at a similar. You got Sib, Hydra, and like Kiz is fast too. You got to at least be you're pushing forward a little bit, foot on the pedal, you know.
So you're saying Kiz is more the problem here? Is it essentially what you're boiling it down to?
Yeah, I mean he was getting hawked on.
So the next question is, who do we see Kiz getting swapped for?
This is the point. Like you look through the S&D duos in the league, you got Simpa Beezy. They're pretty good.
Pretty good.
You got Shotzzy Pret.
Pretty good.
They're pretty damn good.
They're pretty good.
You got Envoy Kleenex. Pretty good.
Right, listen.
B tier.
I know.
Can be A tier.
Listen,
if
I'm
can be A tier.
If I'm both these teams, if I'm New York,
I'm trying to
swap.
I'm trying to get.
I'm trying to.
Kleenex.
Yeah.
There's no way they're getting Kleenex.
I know, but like, imagine though.
I'm trying to get
Kleenex and Hydra.
I'm trying to get Envoy.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only
Envoy could
for
also
me the only
work.
realistic option is Envoy.
Yeah, because Envoy may go from Toronto.
It makes sense for like almost like a trade essentially. Like, all right, you take him, you take him.
I don't think they're gonna trade.
You know what I'm trying to say though, like
Kleenex would be like.
Because
you're asking to get hawked on, sometimes.
Listen, I don't think Scrap's
You're
gonna be
have
like.
some
Kids is gonna help out.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But I mean, this is why I think for the interesting thing is the whole FaZe situation, right? Like, depending on what happens there. Because,
let's talk about them for a minute.
Like, if something happens there, then of course the dominoes potentially start to fall elsewhere. Because it's difficult to say who you replace kids with to try and get better. But based on what they did last year, you got to at least consider the possibility.
I mean, let's just talk about FaZe as well. Like, FaZe played like shit.
Yeah.
This is the worst weekends that FaZe have played CODs in like fucking so long.
Yeah.
Like I've not seen them play this bad in ages. They always tend to play well. And the point that I was making was that even when they've lost so many finals, obviously, but whenever they've lost these finals, it's been 5-3, like maybe 5-2, but super close maps. Like you never feel like you're out of the woods. The way that FaZe bombed out of this tournament against Toronto, like that shit was clean 3-0. Like, okay, the map 3 looked like it was going to go the other way.
It didn't even look
like
they were fighting.
Bottled it. Yeah, it looked like they were just.
It looked like they were
resigned to their
fighting.
fate.
It looked like they cared more about fighting against Miami than they did against Toronto.
They were just getting outclassed.
And
They were getting outclassed all around.
Right. So we talk about like, you know, how some people get put in that trap of like, oh shit, like we're just getting farmed and it's 1 for 1 for 1. You don't think that's coming from FaZe, but they were the worst ones for it this weekend. Especially in that S&D versus Toronto. Someone got first blooded. It looked like they just said, "Oh fuck it!" Like
it was actually insane watching some of that.
Bro,
shit
I
on
watched.
Unreal.
Listen,
they were just challenged.
They lost first map to Toronto. It's like, right, shit, and you're looking for the S&D. First round, first death, Draza team killed Simp with a grenade.
Yeah.
All right, if I'm Simp, I'm like, fucking rip that contract up.
Yeah.
But like, listen,
Wrap it up.
Before we even like can talk about like roster changes on FaZe, because I know we've all got some opinions on that.
Yeah.
Like, we got to talk about what we think went wrong. because I don't think this is just strictly gameplay.
It's got to be outside of game.
This has got to be outside the game, and you know, I know certain individual on FaZe doesn't like us.
Who could it be?
Wait,
Draza.
for real?
Who could it be?
I didn't know that.
But listen, I think there's a lot of unneeded attention and shit that goes with that team, and it all stems from that incident in particular. I think
It was on the big screen. I mean, shit, it was on the live broadcast.
yeah, like
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
got to
you know, let's be real. Like it was more
Yeah.
that game was that FaZe Toronto game was more directed at the fact that Keeks and Darian were there more than the teams playing against each other.
They had him on the main live feed for like 15 seconds. Just
It was
Of
longer
their-
than that, bro. It
Bro,
was like
it
2
was-
minutes.
it
I
was-
swear.
Oh, was it?
It was
fucking
like
long
a
there
it was like a
after.
UFC
Like a minute,
showdown.
probably.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
I talked to Darian about it actually. Last
Was she
night.
fuming? Please
Oh,
tell me she
really?
was.
Of course she was fuming.
Thank fuck.
Oh, she
Like,
might.
and-
Okay,
and
yeah.
everyone was because they told Darian that they were going to be on the broadcast for like 15 seconds after the series or something like that. That was what they were told.
And this is the classic. plot.
They were not told by production that anything like that was going to be happening. I don't know what Keeks was told, but obviously they'd found them in the audience. They'd gone out of their way, and then the production team. And I think Hex, we were on the watch party, so we didn't see Hex's reaction, but I don't think Hex was happy about it. So I think it was a decision maybe that was made by someone, like, without maybe the permission of all involved. Or, you know
Yeah,
what
it
I
didn't
mean?
go
Like,
through all the necessary
Yeah,
channels.
it
It
was
was
one of
let's
these-
do it. Boom.
I think we would talk about it like respectfully in terms of Rab. I know you run some pockets in the YouTube scene, but on a respectful level to Call of Duty and Call of Duty League and competitors and even like Hex, Scump, we don't want to see that.
the fuck do these? Hey,
Watch your
the
fucking
fuck
words.
do these nuggets have to do with Call of Duty? Hey, production, esports engine. The fuck do these nuggets have to do with draws and scratch shoot each other in a video game? Nothing. That's the answer.
It was absolutely wild.
But that's what I'm saying, yeah. Going back to it, like, bro, imagine how Scrap's feeling, yeah, knowing that his girl's just been put on the broadcast like that. Draws are just going on stage, knowing that his girl's been put on broadcast like that right before they're about to play. It's fucking disrespectful.
Very weird.
It's
Respectful, weird.
Disrespectful. It's weird. Like whoever done that, like if you're my friend, you ain't my friend no more, because that's just weird shit.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that thing right there, that segment just explains why I think the FaZe team didn't perform very well. I think it's out of game shit that they're not happy with. Because let's be real.
I mean, there's been rumors about this for months now.
I mean,
and it
listen,
makes a lot of sense.
I mean, listen, I see the FaZe girlfriends. They be chilling with Darian.
yeah, this is the weird
Jericho
thing. Like,
tweeted, Darian tweeted Jericho. One of them tweeted each other mid-tournament, like showing
Yeah.
love to each other. So I mean that.
like everyone knows this because you see it in the pictures that the girls post when they're at the
Yes,
events.
yes,
like
yes.
Jericho, who's Sim's, is it wife now, fiance, or
Respectfully, you say fiance at least. You know.
I think
yeah,
so.
at least
Respectfully
that.
say fiance, but let's just say they're together forever.
yeah,
Yeah, you say
absolutely,
wife,
but,
fiance, you're not gonna go wrong. Yeah.
She gets along with Darian, but also like with the other girlfriends on FaZe. But it's just how it is. You get this stuff building up, especially when the team isn't necessarily there together all the time. Like the interesting thing with FaZe is that Crowder ain't there all the time. He's working remote.
Yeah.
And he only does like one of the series a day, so he ain't even in all the scrims anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got this whole like Simp's got the house in, is it New Jersey or whatever? So he's flying occasionally.
Yeah.
From-
He's there for multiple weeks.
He's
though.
there for multiple
He's
weeks,
there
but,
for
like,
weeks.
Now,
though.
I will say this: they are okay with it. Jericho would be okay if he's like, all right, I'm doing this stint. Like, well, I'm not gonna come and see you as much. She's supportive as fuck. I think
Of course.
he's just doing it off his own back because the guy's in love. He wants to go back. He wants to go spend some time, get away from the
His
game.
No, it's not a
His
criticism
wife,
of him.
yeah.
It's more just like the entire team structure is
It's
a
crazy.
little bit different. And like I don't know if Draz initially when Draz joined FaZe, I was like he should fit with that culture quite well. But as things have turned out, like I think you could see in the body language, like the way they're walking on stage. Like, let's be real about it.
I loved on the watch party. You're like, look.
It's 100% that's true though.
You body language, and you saw, look how far BZ got his stuff. He's already walking by himself. He's
Yeah,
alone.
it's-
He's
No,
alone.
no, that stuff that ain't true.
Okay, after the series might be BS. but,
After
like,
the series, like not true. Just want to get the fuck off stage.
Yes.
No, I get that, but at the same time, I personally think there was something in the reactions of the players, like the way that they were they weren't like dapping each other up and high-fiving and bringing the energy. Like, you didn't see fucking, okay, they played shit, but you didn't see Shotzzy and Pred, the way they stood up, you know, gassing each other up, looking at each other, pointing at the other team. Like, you didn't see, apart from that one time when it was against Toronto, and like Cell stood up and was talking shit or whatever it was. Maybe it was against New York actually. They actually won a map in that series. It was against New York because Hydra was saying to Simp like, you know, I'm the real MVP type thing. Yeah. And then they stood up and started talking a bit of shit. But yeah, the team environment just felt strange to me, and I feel like it's one of these things for FaZe. If you're Simp and Abeezy, the duo, your champs record is, at least for Simp, because Abeezy played the year before World War II, but first, second, third, sixth. Like. That ain't the trends you're looking for. And when you've played with a trio for like 4 or 5 years, I mean, in any sport, and esport especially, you tend to find that eventually things just run their course. Even if there is no clear change or upgrade or whatever you can do, things just, sometimes they just run their course and there ain't nothing you can do about it.
Here's my suggestion. Atlanta FaZe, and I'll consult for free. Simp Abeezy, Celium to a flex, bring back Austin Slasher. Probably won't listen. You probably won't do it. But I think you need Celium moving quicker. I think you need him not... Celium is as much of a generational talent as Dashy is. Do we disagree? Do we disagree here? Any?
So what was that?
Do you disagree with that take?
On Celium...
Is Celium
generational talent?
A generational talent like Dashy is?
Yeah, for sure.
I think he's, absolutely.
Okay. I think he's more skilled than Dashy.
He's more skilled in his position, in his gun skill, his position. What are you referring to?
I think
they're gonna flame you if you just say that. I'm making sure you don't get flamed right now.
I think Cell offers more on the map than Dashy would.
Fair enough. So, in that consideration, gun skill wise, they're neck and neck, right? Dashy, I would say, edges him out a little bit. We need, like how you see Dante putting up damage. You got Dashy, maybe not this year because you have, just role-wise, it doesn't work with the subs. I think Cell being quicker would contribute massively to FaZe. And if you had a main AR, they could come in, set the pace, be the dog, like we've talked about a billion times, the dog they need. We thought Draza was the dog. We found out
he's dog.
He's clearly not the real dog.
Draza's a fake surface level dog.
And we saw
when he's got dog.
No, Draza thinks he's a villain when he's not.
Sure. You need someone who's a proven champion, in my opinion, like Austin. And again, they had good placements last year. Like people forget that they wanted Austin's head and they always replaced that fourth guy, but they played well. Austin's a free agent right now. He's free.
They also can't do that again. Like they obviously this time they have to recognize that you can't just trade out the fourth again.
It doesn't. Yeah, that's not gonna work.
At this point, it's like fucking the definition of insanity.
Yes.
Because you've done it 3 years in a row. Like you got rid of RSTs, you brought in Slasher, you brought in Draz. Like you're gonna do it again and bring someone else in? Like, are we serious?
And then realistically, who else is there to trial?
I honestly agree. Like
I think the worst thing about this is
I think Slasher's a legend. Top 10 player. Top 10 player.
And on a proper game. This is the other point. Like,
yes.
Proper game. Because when Slasher was teaming with the FaZe boys,
bro, it was the worst game of all time.
No red dots, no dead silence. Like that ain't a Slasher
And they still
game.
played well. They still placed well.
I retired on that game. That's how you know it's not.
That's how you know it's a
dog shit game. That's how you know it's a dog shit game.
But you put Slasher on a tryout game. I mean, I think he thinks he knows what they need.
Yes.
Because you team with him for a year, he knows like what errors they had at the end of the season. Just because they placed third, they got rid of him. But he feels like, I'm sure if he came back, he'd know what to do to help them get better. He also knows their culture, he knows their system, he knows their structure.
I say all the time, before you go, sorry.
Yeah, go.
Just one quick line. It's like, it's better to pick the poison that you know instead of the one you don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be a little culture shift over at FaZe, though, in terms of, like, the Cell playing faster thing. This guy was the best flex in the world for years.
Yep.
Fast player, fast as fuck. Black Ops 4, I team with him. Fast as fuck. Running at people, using gun skill, using movement. He's like Shotzzy with an AR.
Shitting on them.
Yeah. I don't know what's happened. Every year that carries on and on and on and on, interactions have got lower and lower and lower. He's got slower and slower and slower. He's moving to this AR role. So, you ain't 27, buddy. You ain't 28. You ain't 29. Use your goddamn pace. Use your goddamn gun skill. Pick up a goddamn main AR, be it Slasher, whatever like that. Because, listen, Slasher's still, to me, best SD player in the game. It will not change.
Yeah.
That FaZe team with Slasher was actually fire.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds like bias. We had Slasher on at watch party, but we actually... You didn't get paid. You just got a stake.
No, he was just vibing. He thought he was just vibing with us.
Yeah.
Listen, end of the day, I do believe that FaZe team that we saw with Slasher was a very good FaZe team that we saw.
If it was on any other game, I think we would have saw so much more success out of that.
Yes. Obviously, I think when I say culture shift, I think there needs to be more demanding from the players in terms of Cell being quicker. I think that needs to be said. I think we can't have Cell being a main AR and they keep picking up. Cell's not a main AR. Let's just
When
say.
we got to look at the coaching stuff, you know. This is what I'm saying about the fact that Crowder's kind of, he's streaming, but he's a coach, but he's not there all the time. He's working remote with the team. He's in like half of their scrims. It's like, at some point, I thought FaZe, for some time they had like strongest coaching staff. They had Tupac Thuglord, RJ, and Easy Mac was there as an analyst. Crowder was there as well. Like, that was gold standard. But now you see what other teams are doing. You know, you got OpTic, Lamar, Damon, JP, you know, whatever you want to say.
Maybe
New,
any, like,
New York arguably have the strongest coaching staff.
Anyone
Toronto,
else?
they've got like 3-4 coaches. Yeah, maybe someone else too.
Yeah, like put my name forward. But
Yeah, but maybe Trey comes in too.
Yeah, because I'm trying
But
to like
you know, I think for FaZe they've got to think about that because their record over the last few years now is frankly quite embarrassing, given the strength of their team and what they should have achieved. Like, I wouldn't say the players themselves have compared themselves to the OpTic Dynasty or to the Cold Dynasty, but you know, the fans have. And you look at it straight up, what OpTic achieved, what obviously Complexity achieved, and what FaZe have achieved with this strength of players over the last 5-6 years, absolutely nowhere near. Like, 2 event wins in the last 3 years. Obviously, the point from Draza was like, he's going to join FaZe because he's going to win more with them, going to win more money with them.
Yeah.
Not OpTic, because they're in a winning team. They're, you know, the culture ain't good on OpTic, and obviously Draza didn't necessarily say this, but the implication of joining FaZe is that, oh, well, OpTic, you know, more about the content, maybe the team isn't as good as FaZe. And obviously been criticised for this over the last few years, but if you look at their record, they won 3 championships now in the last 3 years. Now there's a world championship there, and FaZe just bombed out top 6. So, you know, I think people are considering this to be the end of that stretch for a reason, and I think Cell's a great player too, but I think Cell has weaknesses in his game that haven't been resolved. Like, you see with players such as, I think this is true maybe for Shotzzy, but true for players like Hydra, getting better in some sense every single year. Like, I think players like Dashy, for example, in terms of improving and getting better. In many ways, Celium has just been the same player, or he's playing worse. Like, his numbers might be the same, but I don't think that Celium has improved as a player over the last few years. And I think that his weaknesses, from a communication standpoint, are still the same as they ever were. And I've talked about this in finals, but when you do a listening with FaZe, especially in those crucial moments with the crowd against you and whatever's going on, like, you hear Simp and you hear Draz in the comms. And Abizi, it's like, you know, whatever, he's the fast-paced SMG, I'm not expecting crazy comms out of him. But, you know, I need more from Cell, the way that he talks in those moments. Like, it's clearly a weakness. The league is too competitive to have a clear weakness like that. And I've talked about it being a problem before, and I'm not saying it was a primary problem why this team was having struggles, but I think you can justify removing Celium, is the point that I'm making.
I think that's a faded take. Celium is the most consistent player and has one of the highest KDs of the CDL era. And I'm not a numbers guy, but to drop a 1.2 every year basically is damn near impossible.
But he ain't doing it
Yeah.
against the top teams all the time now.
He also didn't have, like,
He's on a different role.
against the best teams this year. He
Not in the
had
CDL
some-
areas, no.
Well,
World Series.
you're gonna say with Draws on his team, he's playing the same as he was with
Last year, yeah.
No, bro, it's not. He's not playing
Bro,
the same at all.
his interactions is pretty much similar. He is slowed down, bro. With that's the reason why Slasher got dropped, because him and Cell are playing the same role. Draza and him aren't playing the same role, but Cell, in my opinion, Cell in Draza's role is better than Draz.
Yes, 100,000 bajillion percent.
And
Yes.
that's I think that's what Rab's point is, like.
But that's why I can't exactly. But that is why I can't justify dropping him. My thing is
Oh,
bring
no, I don't
someone in
know.
that enables him to go do what we know he can do, while maintaining his 1.1 plus average across every COD year he's ever played.
I've been an advocate for saying that if this trio does bad at Champs, you got to split the core 3. The issue is There's not a single goddamn player in the league better than any of them 4 in terms of that you can pick up. There's no upgrade there.
3. Don't say 4.
What do you think, Draws?
Yeah, I think Slash is a better.
No, I'm saying like talent
wise,
like
that team than Draws.
Like I'm saying like talent wise for like flex.
Specifically?
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a damn
but you change Cell to flex, bring Slasher in, and yeah, for sure.
Yes.
The issue is that I think they're not even making a change based on. They weren't even making they're not going to make a core 3 change this year, due to the fact of I think that the person they picked up in Draws has created more out of game issues to the point where they're like, right.
Yeah, it's almost like a us 3 versus this guy.
It's like right with our cities. Did we have any like fucking crazy shit going on with the girlfriends? No. With Austin, did we have any crazy shit with the girlfriends? No. It was just in-game issues. This year we've had the fucking whole. We've had the lottery. We've had the whole shebang. We've had a bingo card. We've had
drama.
it all.
It's just pure drama.
So I think end of the day, that's where I think Draws' road ends with FaZe, not because of his talent, but just because of the baggage, the baggage that comes with it.
Sure. Yeah. You could agree with that, yeah?
No, I think I agree with that too, which is tough for Draws in a sense because, again, it's the same question. You look at a guy like Cell, let's say they got rid of him. I'm not saying they should necessarily. I'm saying you can have the conversation. I don't know where he goes. I don't know who you'd get to replace him in that position.
Yeah.
But like, this is the point though. Like,
there's nobody.
You drop Cell, you drop Draws. Like,
you just lost 2. I mean, Draws. We should more speak about Draws. I think that's the more likelihood in just in the case.
But
where does Draws go? Who do you see replace Draws? I mean, actually more because we kind of have an idea of that. But where would Draws go? Let's think about that.
Probably New York. That's where the conversation of maybe.
Well, then he goes there for Skies.
I mean, I could think it can work. Like, I don't.
It could definitely work.
Yeah, my opinion tends to be with SMGs or with ARs that, there's a fast one, there's a slow one. I'm like, if you're talented enough and you listen to the issues, you can make it work.
You play the role.
Like, people saying that Shotzzy and Pred wouldn't work as an SMG duo, I'm like...
Faded.
I'm like, bro, they are unbelievably talented.
I mean,
like, they're going to be able to make it work.
I'll say this, like, though, like, a BZ Simp and then Cell and Austin, like, that works straight, like, for the MW2 year. That works straight talent-wise. But in game-wise, I feel like they had the game plan, but, like, it was just them two running forward, Simp and BZ running forward, and then Cell should be along with them, but he's just, like, linking back with Austin. I think if they can sort that issue out. Now, this is just straight hypotheticals. I just think that is the best pickup for FaZe in terms of S&D, comms, because Rab said about the comm being an issue. Mm-hmm. You need someone that's giving good comms, very good comms for Cell. Not for Cell, but like to calm down the situation. Like I said, I think it sucks that they bailed out when they did it at Champs, but I just don't see. I think if the team was fine and they just bailed out top 6 with no drama or outside the game, I think we see a core 3 change. But I think with the issues that we're having outside the game, bringing it into the team, I think this is the draws a drop and we're going to run it back.
Even amongst this issue, right, I want to proceed to the thought of, it's funny because we talk about this, we talk about even Toronto, where I don't think it's worth, they bowed out. I don't think they make a change just yet. But the bigger conversation is that New York, or even New York, FaZe, Toronto, they could very well go to EWC, get second or first, and all of a sudden this entire conversation we're having could just be silenced.
I think that's the key point, right?
I don't think it does, though.
How not? If FaZe would go to EWC and get first, you think they make a change? I think 100% they stick then. 100%.
They got a lot to think about in the next few weeks.
The issue,
like how much they commit to
No, the issue is when I spoke to Scrap about EWC, the event's only important, but it's not important for your legacy. It's not important for your team.
You're just there for the cash.
You're pulling up against teams that have just been made again. You're going to an event. London made a change. The Challenger rosters, they've gone onto different rosters. LAG are not there, and they've gone onto different rosters. Minnesota's not there. If you win that, if you're a team of 4 that's not made a change going into that event, you should win the event. Do I think it changes the fact that you just bailed out at the most important event of your life? Like, no, I don't. I spoke to Scrap. They definitely didn't speak to Draws. I spoke to Scrap. He was, because I said, like, at least you got EWC. He's like, yeah, but, like, it ain't Champs. Champs is where you cement your legacy. You win EWC, you've walked away with some cash. You win Champs, you've got a ring. You're on a banner. Like
history books.
History books. That's legacy. EWC, that's just money.
But if you win that, it does add another layer to the cake of why you should stick.
It just makes things confusing for the teams because usually right now this is when you're making the moves.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, let's say hypothetically, it's probably not hypothetical, but let's say hypothetically the chemistry is chalked on FaZe, but they've still got to play with each other again in 3 weeks' time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
they've got to battle through
my
that.
point is like if FaZe won EWC, like
Nice one.
he's been picking at that a while too.
Yeah, I did. Okay, go.
I think if FaZe win EWC, they still make a change. Of course they make a change. We would be silly to not say they make a change.
I'll friendly wager you on that. I'll friendly wager you that
I
thing.
mean, I
but
just
they-
don't think they win an EWC. I think they're chalked.
Bro, they
at the same
no,
time,
no,
right?
but
Yeah.
they win it. They win EWC, and they think, you know what, like all that drama that went too bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we just made $800. I think it's like $800,000.
No, that's me being sarcastic. The drama's fucking horrendous.
Nah.
They don't need that on the squad.
No, I think if they still think they can be competitive, they're gonna run it back. Again,
They-
I'll
they're-
friendly
they're-
wager you for sure.
they're-
on this
They're
one.
competitive just because of talent.
For sure.
Like, you never rule them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
This team's chalked. Like
it seems that way.
yeah, ambience wise.
I also think, like, some of the... Because, you know, I talked about FaZe, the potential of this team being some of the best I've ever seen from a FaZe team. And I think we saw it. Like, their record this year was super good. Like, online, a lot of it.
They had the
really.
the highest CDL points ever for a team.
Yeah, like, just 3-0 people, like, they were back in Cold War, no problem at all. But that's papering over cracks, you know what I mean? Like, the winning of the event and also the online matches, that's papering over some of the issues in the team. And then as soon as you don't win anymore, we've seen it happen before.
Yeah. And from a different angle, just a slightly different angle too, it's like, if I'm the core three, anyone we bring in, can we probably replicate something similar next year with almost any pretty talented fourth that we would play with? Yes. Is it impossible for us to get another 500 points next year with Slasher or with Draza or with... These guys are not available, but I'm saying like us. Even if they could bring in Caesar and still probably get a similar amount of points as they did this year. Just because that three are so talented. But anything else from the event? Because I kind of want to get to the EWC discussion. We've seen roster changes there.
I
right?
just
We can talk Toronto real quick. That's kind of what I
You
want
want to dabble on it?
yeah,
a
no,
little bit?
I just bring up a tweet from Octane because he's talking about the event real quick and how we
Yeah.
started off with it.
Oh, okay.
Octane in a tweet, Champ should be a neutral event. OpTic helped with the CDL and took the opportunity to host it, and they're like, and it was the best event in the last 5 years. People wouldn't be nearly as upset if they didn't win it, but they did, and the crowd definitely helped. All this can be true at the same time. And Hitch replied, said, I don't understand why people are acting like many OG fans that many OG fans is a new thing. That has to do with the location of the event. Until there is an event hosted in Spain and Miami makes it, that's what the crowd would sound like if OG were in finals. Also, the CDO had to sign off for the Dynasty walkout. If they did it for us, they'd do it for any other orgs. Crim announced a team 1 year, and the drums and the crowd chants would have still happened, but without them being mic'd up. I think...
He makes half of that. He makes a good point. Half he makes a bad point.
Scrappy made a point as well. I just wanted to like read this out because it got linked. Basically Jake Lucky tweeted about the Activision should host the event, not OpTic.
Yeah.
Ake said that this isn't even an argument. Like there shouldn't be any issue with that. And then Scrappy says to Akes, "You're right. Every pro will tell you this as well. Tippable for sure though from OpTic."
Yeah, but...
So, you know, it's a
listen,
competitor's mindset. I think every pro would probably feel that way.
I promise you there was not a single pro that was happy with OpTic hosting that event.
Apart from the OpTic guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee you no orgs were happy about them hosting the event either.
No, the orgs are fucking delighted. They'd have to host it. They had no money to host it. That's the truth.
Yeah, but you
the
give it-
players all were pissed.
You give it to Toronto, they're taking a happy. I guarantee the Toronto org are pissed off too.
Yeah, but that's probably the one.
Obviously at the little orgs, you know, like, yo, Carolina, you want to host the event? Nah, I'm good, man.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm good. I'm chilling.
LAG, you guys want to run it up? No. Nice try.
Did LG get back to you? Nah, Stan didn't get back to me.
Yeah,
You know, like,
Yeah.
you
What do
know.
you think that Toronto think though, like as a team? Because if you're Scrap, you might now be one of the best players, certainly in the league.
Might?
Best player to not win champs.
You're a top
the
5
league
player
right
in the
now.
league.
You are a guaranteed top 3 player in the league.
Yeah. So you come second at champs last year,
No, I mean, I'm just spitballing.
Fair enough.
third at champs this year. Decent results, but not good enough. He tweeted out like, "I love my boys, love my teammates, like see you next year" type thing.
This is the only team that I actually see like with good culture in terms of like when when people are like love my boys and shit like that, but like they're dropping a heartbeat. I think they would actually be upset like dropping people on the team. They actually do work well together. It's just
I agree,
not well
but they
enough.
just
Not
for the
well
last
enough.
for the last few events, they just weren't that much of a threat.
No,
you know?
and I'm agreeing with you, but I'm saying like people lie when they say like love the team.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah. I
Scrap-
do think Scrub genuinely believes it to some degree.
it just didn't
but
work.
like, yeah, if someone becomes available on FaZe, you know, like you're thinking about it. Obviously, I think more than likely they will probably look to stick it out. But
I think this whole year was a ruse, and this was a plot to get Draza and Scrappy on the same team.
oh my god, can you imagine?
That will never. If that happens, I'd be. If that
I
happens,
mean,
I'm taking
Draz
my
and
pants off,
Abizi
like,
dropped the
done.
beef, but I think asking Draz and
Listen,
Scrappy
I'ma
drop
be
the
real,
beef,
though.
I think
out
that's
of the
way
question.
deeper. It's way deeper.
never
I'm
happened.
gonna be real. That beef ain't dropped. There's no way. it's
That's actually a
dropped.
good point. That's actually a valid point too. Like, there's lingering beef there that they,
Yeah, that's
is
actually
under
a
the
good point.
rug.
Bro, listen, man.
That's actually a
Like,
good point, low key.
bro, we won't bring up the tweet or what it was said, but like, if you're replying to a tweet about someone's girlfriend, like, and you type "laugh my fucking ass off" in all caps, and then 2 years later, team with the guy, like,
He ain't forgot that. He unfollowed all of us for you me specifically after I think he already didn't follow you over us discussing it on the show, discussing the girlfriend, just discussing it.
I mean, I told you guys, but you know when you walk through the back entrance to the event, and there's those little gaps in the curtains. I was having a little nosy peek.
Little
right?
nosy, yeah,
Well, I
yeah.
say little nosy. I got a fucking
Yeah,
schlong
he's got
on me. You know what I'm
he's got a
saying?
big
So, like,
schlong.
yeah, I could smoke a cigar in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Like,
serious schlong on that boy.
I was nosying around.
Hey yo,
I lock eyes with Draza. When I'm walking past, I'm thinking, "Fuck, shit, what do I do?" So I just went,
All right. And they dap you up?
"Oh,
Also-
he looked away. He looked away."
I did.
No dog.
No dog.
Listen,
He did that me up in Major 4 though.
Okay.
Oh, well,
Wait,
I
really?
made him. Yeah, I made him. I not made him. I wasn't like, come here, boy. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. It was more like,
he's like, "So what's good, Sim? What's good? What's good?"
what's up,
Draza?
boy? Give me a fucking. No, I walked out. Cell. I'm very cool with Cell. I'm very cool with Simp and Abizi. Isn't that funny? I'm cool with 3 of them.
Wow.
You think about it,
interesting,
you
huh?
use your mind for a second. You lock it in
Interesting.
dial it in, and you think about the little formula there. I said hi to 3 of them. He was the 4th man there. I had a decision to make as a man. Am I gonna walk away like a princess, or am I gonna look a man in the eye, even if I know that you know that I know that you know, I'm still gonna dap you up.
How did the dap feel though? Like, was it aura?
Dismissive.
Yeah.
It was dismissive dap, but I maintained eye contact when he didn't want to, so I won the battle.
Well,
No, hey, one more time. No dog.
No dog.
No dog.
you know who has got dog?
Hot dog. Glizzy? What?
That's sweet.
That's
Yeah,
the
we
emotion,
go.
aura. Absolutely. Toronto, though. Toronto. So Toronto, change or no change?
Yeah, they're making a change.
I actually think that after EWC, I think that FaZe are going to make a change, and therefore I think there's dominoes that are going to be falling, and therefore I think that Toronto are going to make a change.
Right,
The
I'm go-
issue is that Kleenex and Insight, they're boys. They're probably under contract for another year. Scrappy probably ain't going anywhere. So they're looking at Envoy, and
Someone
I
would
don't
have
know.
to. Someone would have to buy
I'm
him
gonna
out.
make a bold claim, and this is just purely based on the off season prior to this year.
Okay.
Insight didn't have the greatest year this year, correct?
Correct.
Generally, yeah.
If they got rid of Insight, I think FaZe go for Insight.
I think they were rumored to him, weren't they?
That's
I'm
my
pretty sure
that's my
were
point.
linked to
They
Insight
were supposed to they were linked to him
before they
this
got
this off season.
This off season. That's right.
That's
yeah,
why.
yeah.
That's the only reason I make that claim.
Bro, imagine they put another 4th in. This time it's Insight. And
I wouldn't hate it. To be
I mean,
honest,
I honestly, I think it could work.
it would free up Cell. It'd free up Cell.
Because Cell definitely can't play his current style with Insight on the team.
Yeah. Then they'd literally just be turtles. Like literally 2 turtles.
Now,
I
listen,
think it could work.
A lot of people are gonna say, "Wow, either Trey's an idiot."
No, I think it's pretty good. I don't
Yeah,
hate the
yeah,
idea.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not purely basing it just on like this event. I'm purely
there was
basing,
actually
I'm,
rumours
I'm
about
purely
that
basing it
last
on like
offseason.
there
Yeah.
was rumors that he was supposed to go there, or like rumored they wanted him,
And
and
he knows a thing or two about how to create a good communication environment.
and
Yeah.
if FaZe want a player, they'll happily take him next year.
They will get a player. FaZe want a guy, they will get the guy.
The issue is like
Unless you don't want
who do Toronto bring in?
You need dominoes to fall.
You need them to.
Dominoes need to fall for a lot of these ideas or
But
speculations.
this is
to
but this
happen.
is but this is where it could be like, you know, if Envoy gets dropped or whether like this could be where like the teams that need like a new player to come in, like not a new player but like one of the teams that, you know, we're talking like Neros,
Yeah,
we're
something like
talking
that.
like, you know.
I don't see it.
No, I'm just saying like this is a shot for like one of these players that, you know, we said Gwyn, Estriel, Real, like all these players,
Yeah.
like do we see them being on a top 4 team? It could be a risk that, you know, Ultra might take.
I like the shot in the dark for the content reasons, but in the reality, I don't think any of the top 4 take a risk going into next year. I don't think any of them do it. No Estriels, no Neros, you know, Attach. I don't think any of these guys will move pieces like that.
I think
it's too risky.
I think Ghosty's the only one that has a chance.
I don't think LAT would get rid of Ghosty. If I was LAT, I mean, this is kind of going off of the top 4, but just for the short conversation about it, because Ghosty is probably the best player outside of the top 4, right? We'd probably agree there. Probably. I think it'd be Attach or him, honestly.
Right, this guy loves Attach.
Why are we laughing? He's 6th highest KD of the year.
No,
Why is that funny?
No, Rap just looks at me and just laughs.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, that's not even a funny take. The Attach was absolutely piecing frying this year.
No, I love Attach.
Factually, toxic. But point being is that Ghosty, I think if you're LAT, considering that we've heard that they're gonna put more money into it, you can't get rid of your staple piece.
Also, I think Thieves proved to some degree that like they're serious, you know.
Yeah.
In the sense that FaZe, they dropped out top 6, unprecedented, unheard of. But the team to take their place in the top 4, Thieves, and they could have gone one better. Like I was talking to Shane, I was talking to those guys. They think they could have been in the finals for sure, and I think they could have been. Like the other teams, they dropped the ball a bit, but like
I don't think they're making
Toronto early
finals.
on.
I don't think they're making finals.
I think they could have. I think they were playing well enough if they just had a bit more dog game 5.
I think this was just I
They
think
nearly beat Toronto again.
I will say this. I think they overperformed.
I think they got a nice bracket.
I think
they got a nice bracket. They caught Toronto slipping.
I think they overperformed. Just look at the year, Rab.
No, I was just comment on getting a nice bracket. I mean, like to play Toronto, like weren't easy.
Yeah, you can't. And also, who are we to blame them for getting a good bracket? You can't blame them.
It would have been a good bracket, bro. It's fucking champs bracket. Like they.
No,
Nah,
wait, you
They had to play Toronto and
you can-
OpTic
blend-
and
you-
Toronto. And
No, I will say
You
it's
can get blessed with a champs bracket.
No, I will
That's
say it's
unbelievable.
harder to get a good champs bracket now than it was back in the day.
Oh, for sure.
Like
Back in the day,
EG's
EG bracket,
champs
yeah.
bracket was like. I'm trying to think of an analogy here, but like fuck me, like.
You remember like OpTic?
I
round
tried
1 of,
losing for that bracket.
Yeah,
That's how good the bracket
yeah, it
was.
was that bad.
Yeah.
I don't know
Like,
how I
OpTic
won and still.
2017,
That just proves how fucking good I was. I
they
tried
played
losing,
some like they
and
played,
we
like,
still
And you
won.
still took a dub. Yeah.
tainted by Black Forest Gaming or something. Like OpTic played round 1 of the bracket at champs
I
2017.
think D-Real was on that.
I think
team.
you might have been, yeah. It was like Black Forest Games or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this? This is champs round 1? Like,
Yeah. But speaking of
Well,
Ghosty,
what's
Ghosty goes nowhere. I think LAT build around him. I don't know.
Unless it gets bought out by FaZe. Like.
I like
I
speculation.
mean, look, all I'm saying is, we were at the bar last night. Ghosty was there. He was there ahead of his teammates. You know, like it was Ghosty. The other boys turned up a bit later on.
Yeah, I know where one of them was.
Whoa.
Sim was there.
Intel.
Was he with anyone?
Ghosty was buying Simp a drink.
Oh.
I made that up. That ain't true. But
No, don't
you know
say
how
it.
it goes.
I mean, yeah, people. I mean,
Conversations are
Rab,
happening.
you
Yeah,
could, Rab,
exactly.
Rab,
Conversations are gonna happen.
You could have said that. Every player was drunk. They would not remember. Like, yeah, I bought him a drink. I'm like, yeah, fuck,
You might have.
fuck yeah, I bought him a drink.
Well, they're sitting there like, damn, I bought him a drink in public. Oh shit! I started the rumors. Yeah, I think if I'm LAT, I'm not giving him up. I'm building around him. There's a lot of people. If I'm LAT, I'm trying to build the most competitive team outside of the top 4 that can take dubs off of the top 4. Because if I let Ghosty go, and he goes to, let's say, Boston or some other organization, I've trolled with the best piece outside of the top 4. If I let him go and he goes to FaZe, I've made cracking the top 4 or making my team competitive even that much more difficult. So there's no real reason to benefit you to sell him. Oh yeah, we made $100,000. What are we gonna do with it? Go buy fucking Joe Deceives again? Yeah, all right, dude. That's not a winning formula. I think LAT want to be winners. They want to be in the top 4 conversation. My bad, Joe Deceives. But
How's that? How's Juvie?
Juvy's nice.
oh, speaking of LA Thieves, we're drinking an absolute juvie.
Use code
what
Breaking
flavor?
Point for 10% off.
There we
Check
go.
out.
Tropical Crush.
Mind if I have a sip?
No, absolutely.
I'll pass it
It's
over.
actually nice.
Tropical Punch does sound good. I've had the blue raspberry. It's nice.
Nice little segue. let's talk about EWC and the teams
Thank
that are
you.
making moves.
Thank you.
Because we got some roster drama was hitting the timeline today.
Yes, quite a few like different
A
announcements.
few things going on.
Yeah, people were going
Obviously,
quick about it.
like basically all the teams that didn't make champs are doing something interesting. I guess we can start with Rocker, to be fair.
Sure. So then,
Because Gorillas did make champs, they ain't going to the World Cup. I mean, they
Still-
were probably just chalking it up.
yes, still unknown why they are not going. We had the coach or one of the coaches, and Flames come on, and essentially, their reasoning that they were given was, we don't have a reason. We're just not going and not providing you any reason. Have fun at champs. This all the expenses paid, hotel, flight, experience, to make a minimum 20,000, 5,000 a piece, 20,000 for the or 20,000 prize pool for yourself, minimum. We're just not doing it. So they didn't know why. So now we have those 4 players essentially having to scatter around the league, and a 12th spot. Do we actually have an idea of what's going to happen with the 12th spot?
I think Houston Spartans take a spot.
There's a bit of drama about that.
Yeah.
Because LAG pulled out, there was the top 4 at Challenger Champs qualified.
You're right.
In addition to Team Falcons, who won the MENA qualifier. So
Okay.
they get to go. But the issue is
They
that
won it.
I don't actually know if it was even played. But, but they won that shit.
Listen,
so they go.
listen,
They were going to be in that shit regardless.
listen, all I'm saying is, right, if they were down in that match, if it was played,
Yeah,
They were up all of a sudden.
Yeah.
they were winning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the problem is that the team Cami, Awakening, Proloot, and Purge, they all got picked up, apart from Proloot, onto Boston.
Oh,
Which
really?
is confirmed today.
Really?
Absolutely.
Fuck
they did.
you, Doug.
Yeah, well played, Doug. After chatting all this,
Calling
in our
us out
DMs
individually
about
by
Cool.
name.
How the
let's
roster
have
rumours
our
weren't true.
segment. He wants to do a fucking 5-minute segment. Let's have our segment. Doug, where is your pride and morals to come on the stream and call me, Ace, and Rab out directly, basically saying that we're lying? Basically saying that roster wasn't true.
CDL, you said not just us, CDL, Scrimentel, Gersh. I mean, essentially, the rotation said it too, so you're calling them out too. Everyone's lying. Every source is lying.
But we weren't lying.
Nah.
Confirmed.
Turns out, okay, they made the one change RCs for Awakening.
That still don't count.
But like,
Basically irrelevant.
You know, it is what it is. So anyway, that team's forming, which means that the Omid Brooklyn team just has Prolu left, and therefore instead of inviting him to be like, pick up 3 boys, they've just invited the next team. But the issue is that there wasn't a clear next team, because Houston Spartans and 5 Media Clan or whatever, the Spanish guys, they were 5th, 6th, so there was no 5th team. But Houston Spartans had more pro points, so they gave it to them. Although the 5 Media Clan, they won more maps at the tournament, so maybe they should have been the 5th seed or something, even though that's kind of bullshit.
There's an argument though.
But this is what I was saying is like, we knew this was coming going into the weekend. Like everyone knew that shit was happening, and they were think ahead.
Not Doug apparently.
Well, I was saying this on like the Friday or the Thursday. I was like, you might have to do a 5th, 6th playoff game. Like you might have to do a playoff game between those 2 teams to determine the 5th seed, because this was a potential eventuality. They didn't do that, so bit of drama about it. Proli though tweeted that he's still going to the Esports World Cup.
I saw that today too. He
So now
tweeted
I'm
out,
like-
"I'll see you guys," like something.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys there. So, and then if you notice this as well, on Houston Spartans, this is my speculation. I have no confirmation about this. I'm letting you guys know. I tried to get confirmation. It hasn't happened yet. Fire said now he's not going.
Yeah. So maybe that's what it is.
I think personally, if I was Houston Spartans anyways, Prolude is personally, no disrespect to anyone, I think he's a better player and he's a longer standing player and a better asset. I think you would want to pick up Prolude if he's an available guy for Fire. And now Fire has made up some type of tweet about something happening that he can't go, but I think realistically they replaced him with Prolude.
I mean, personally, I'm taking Trei, but Prolude's right.
Yeah, I would take Trey too.
I'll take Trey.
When money's on the line, Trey's like.
I mean,
Trey's
speaking
settling.
of EWC rosters too, Paris. Or Vegas. Sorry.
What about Vegas?
Johnny's out?
Johnny's out. He's got there's a
I think a health issue, they said.
Yep.
This is different. This is different. He's obviously a standing member of this team. It's not Challengers team too. So this is whatever it is, Johnny. I hope you're fine. I hope you're solid. I hope it's nothing that's going to affect you long term or your career. So wishing you well and your health and everything. And they've chosen to pick up Fame from LAG instead. Played with Dylan before, right? Played with Tatch before. Thoughts, considerations? What do we think about Fame? Does he add to the team? Is it worse for the team? What do we think?
I think it's just nice that the CDO teams, the players have picked up the 3 players, 4 players. I know Flames hasn't been picked up yet, but
Names are too close.
too close. But I don't know, like these teams could just go out the way and just go challenges, but I feel like I feel like a lot of these players feel like they owe some respect as well to LAG as a team just for playing as well they did. So they're obviously not bad players, and just the fact that LAG just being a terrible fucking organization, not sending them to that, it's not sending them there. So I think it's nice to see these CDO teams, CDO players actually picking up Fame, and
they earned it, man.
They did.
It's not
they
even about
did.
nice. They earned that spot. They proved themselves that when it comes to LAN, they got something figured out.
I'm not saying they got pity picked. I'm just saying it's
yeah.
nice that they were like the first people, like, yo, just fuck, come with us.
Yeah, well,
you know?
yeah. So yeah, I think that duo. I actually think him on that squad is actually I think it's an upgrade, a huge upgrade. I think Fame is Purge, who can get you some kills. That's how I see it. Fame is a guy who can give you those comms, who will do the dirty work, will fill the gaps, and can actually put up some numbers for you, whereas Purge was getting shat on. So I think it's an upgrade for them. They're all certified shooters.
He's not one of those borderline players. I was impressed by Johnny at the end of the year, but I'm happy to see Fame get his shot.
Virginia cheese, bro.
Virginia cheese, you think?
I think his average was like a 1.2 against any team in Texas. That's unbelievable.
Even on LAN, he went bad, but yeah, I see it. I mean, the other piece, of course, is what this means for the Rocker Boys, because we got DC, Diamond Con, and we got Estriel. They're coming into Rocker, right? So Rocker made the changes. It looks like they're going to keep Lins, and now it looks like they're keeping Accuracy.
Yeah, the original rumor was gunless.
It was going to be gunless, but now it's looking like Accuracy, Lins, Diamond Con, Estriel. I actually kind of like this team. I think they're likely to be more functional than some of the other teams going, because there's going to be some teams going that are mentally compromised, like above them.
Oh,
and
yeah,
this team,
for sure.
The Diamond Con Accuracy AR duo.
Someone's gonna have to fucking put the burners on.
Someone's gonna have to put the burners on. But
I don't think it's gonna be Lamar.
I like the
I
sub
don't think
duo.
it's gonna be Lamar.
I
I
can promise you Lamar is not ordering his battle beavers with a left stick in.
Yeah, no, Lamar's gonna do what he's gonna do.
He's gonna be like Diamond. He did.
Diamond Con is a shooter though. We've seen him move.
He's a shooter, yeah, but he's gonna have to slay hard for these boys.
Yeah, I think we've seen him. He can move. He's good on LAN. He's consistent.
I mean, respectfully, this is Linds's time to fucking do something.
I think it's Linds's time to prove that he's not. I won't call him a bust, but I will say your stock has gone down. Factually, Tom, I'm sorry, but like it's like you've gone down a little bit. This is your time to prove that with a secondary sub like Estriel, who is a shooter, who's moving, will go in front of you and make some moves for you, and make the right play. If he's enabling you, you better be frying.
This is your Vivid that you had at the start of the year. This is your Vivid.
This is a better Vivid.
I mean, like I don't know if
Respectfully.
I don't know if it's better or worse, but it's good for you. You've got someone that's running in front of you, being fast. This is the pregnant Shotzzy. Like not, directly comparison, but like playstyle wise, it's your pregnant Shotzzy.
You guys, stylistically, this is a match. This should work, and this is your chance to really make some noise as a sub duo. And maybe, who knows? He's a free agent. Next year, we might see him together. If you play well enough, you could see
I think
something happening here.
A lot of these teams, it could be like a little trial period too.
Yeah, low key, for sure.
I mean, that's the rumor that like this Rocket team is effectively going to run it for World Cup, and then probably it's a temporary move.
Yeah.
And also because for Lamar, it's an interesting one. Like, if he wants to play next year, he can probably still play. But given what's happened at the World Championship, like, someone's going to say, yeah, Lamar, like, you want to coach us? Whether that's OpTic, whether that's another team. I think if I'm FaZe, I'm saying, like, yo, we want to do something here. So I think for Accuracy, it's like, beautiful. Play the Esports World Cup. Go there, play the prize pool. 1.8 million on the line. Take the opportunity while it is there. And then whatever happens after that happens. But
plus Mecca buff, dude. You get the
exactly.
Saudi buff.
That's what I was thinking as well. It makes so much sense for Lamar to go play this tournament.
Asum, Pred, Lamar, Hydra. Hydra's actually most of the
Mecca buff is crazy.
Yeah, they got the Mecca buff. So, like, I'm just saying, when they go over there, someone's landline is getting pulled. I'm just letting y'all know. So, yeah, the Rocket team is interesting, though. I think they have a chance. If we get the right, I'm gonna put the pressure on him. I have to do it. It's on Lamar. If we get the right Lamar coming in there, You know, with his mom's case, he was compromised for a bit of the season, rightfully so. But if we get the right Lamar coming in there with those young bucks, I think they're a team who could overperform. Considering, like we said, like some teams are compromised. Honestly.
I think the Lamar that you're gonna get now is probably the best spirits that he's been in a while.
I sure hope so.
You know, obviously had that the family scare. Came home. Obviously, it's still not all sorted out, but it's looking better.
Yeah.
He also just had is it OpTic Lamar? Did he help him? Whatever like that. The feeling from everyone is he did, and they just want champs. So obviously he's got some. You know, he's feeling good from that too. He's like, you know, I did speak to him on the side. He's like, listen, everything I say, I mean it in good. I mean it in good ways. Like I'm not here to tell players bullshit. If you listen to me, you might win. Now this does depend on Lamar. Get the fuck few kills.
Yeah.
If Lamar wins his ones, and this team actually listens to Lamar and works how I think it should work, I think this is a very good sleeper team for EWC.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
I think the other team that I like, I mean, I guess we can talk about Boston as much as I don't want to, but
We should. I mean, there's a group of guys
we will
here.
obviously talk about them.
Yeah,
No,
there's
it's
guys
a
here.
different team.
It's literally pretty much a full different team except for one piece.
But we'll talk Ravens first.
For sure.
Because
This is my favorite sleeper team too.
Benjamin Beans is back,
he's back, baby. Oh my god.
Hey, so
what a
I just,
team.
I
There
just
were some great jokes
I just
about
want to say
these guys
something
today.
like to this Ben Beans. I told you directly. He knows I love him to pieces. He's one of those people that actually comes to my streams a lot, watches me stream games and whatever like that. Has a funny conversation with me. So you know, I support him. I support him. Supports me. I said, "You're going to the Esports World Cup." He's like, "I don't know. We'll find out." 1 week later, he has a little shooting time with him. You know, goes to the gun range.
Where's the go? You went with him?
No, he went to the gun range.
he went to the gun range.
in MW3
Yeah.
with Tyler Fellow.
That's what I thought he was getting at.
Yeah, and he fried.
Mhm.
And I spoke to a few people that saw the trials, whatever like that. Said that this is what they needed.
He was
Yeah.
fine.
That's what they needed. And we've said this since day. We put Ben Beans on our B tier list.
Yeah.
He's a shooter.
Certified.
Guaranteed map 3 win. You let my boy down in S&D, he's got you in control.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah, quality player, I think, like, definitely the right call. I mean, it was my thought process ever since Felony came in alongside Clay. Obviously, I know Clay probably ain't happy about the way everything went down, getting dropped from the Ravens and all this, but the reality is, with Clay and Fellow, you can have one of them. You can't have both of them.
Yeah.
And it was like that all year, because they were a similar player.
Fellow
Clay's-
played better.
Yeah, exactly. You needed someone who could deliver more slaying. Beans was always going to be in the conversation. They trialed Mercules, apparently. He's like an up-and-comer challenger player. Didn't quite qualify for the Challengers Championship, but he's in the conversation. Trialed Spart as well. Kind of interesting that Spart's like still getting a look at all these
He's
possibilities.
definitely one of the most borderline players. Like,
Yeah,
he's
just
good enough to
because he
be
has, like,
in,
you know.
but he's not in. It's like it's right there.
But Beans makes a lot of sense. Even like, okay, Ravens ain't in
No,
London
I haven't
anymore,
shaved
but
today, to be fair.
it's kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
I actually really
I
like
haven't shaved in
that
2 days.
pickup for the
Yeah,
team.
I know, you're looking good.
Because we know that
Absolutely.
Tej and Gwyn's on this game. I don't know how
No,
good
they were too
Tej is
much
going to be
fun.
next year. But on this game, Tej is
Whoever
a
edited
force.
that, when I sit down, turn on
And-
Jay-Z music.
I mean, I'll be straight
do
up.
that,
Like, if
just-
they had Beans with this
Not
team
during
from day
shoulder,
one, I think they're qualifying for champs.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that's they went through a few iterations. To be fair, if they had
I'll figure it out. I'll put it
Tej
for you there.
from day one and Fellow from day one
Don't
with
worry.
Clay, they probably qualified for champs.
I'm ready.
Just they had a
You
bad
ready?
stage one
You
with
like
the
that
Rex.
shit?
Yeah.
I'm
But,
fucking
like-
ready.
Bad.
You ready?
Dim ready.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah,
Episode-
But yeah, you know,
31.
Tej and Ben, they're
31.
going to be eating big.
Yeah,
I was thinking he's
Yeah,
playing big.
I think it's Humble Cookies.
Let me check
Watch
real
out.
quick.
You're going to be
Yeah,
sold out
29,
every day.
100%.
Listen, this team all around, I love, man. The
One of them.
combination.
31,
Now you
just-
have a guy who
that's
can
un-
give you
that's not
what you
31.
need to respawns and the controls. You have Tej,
What if
you
people
his
are
best
like-
we're
form
20
in
it's
years.
29,
Who can
29,
win you in
right?
S&D
What if
and
people-
now
what if people
deliver
like
in
these episodes?
respawns.
Like,
You
what if
have
this
Fellow
episode
who's been a
bangs
Lanimal
and then
all year. One
now
of the
we're in
biggest,
dilemma?
one of the big, I think
What's
the
up,
biggest
Steve?
difference between
Feel like-
online and
Feel
LAN.
Feel like-
And then you have
Or
Gwyn,
well,
the rookie,
technically, I'd have
our
people
CDL
there.
rookie of the year.
Two people there.
That
one
is
person
a
here.
crazy force to
Mm,
combine
come
Oh,
on.
two
at
people
this
actually
stage,
no,
at the end of
rap,
the
two
year, when
people
everyone's
here,
knowledgeable
one
the
person
games
there
and
now.
playing the game all
He's
year.
stuck here, so
Fuck
Yeah,
it.
Carolina's on that cusp.
I told him
Now you got a
hiding in
guy
the exhaust
who's
pipe.
has
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
to prove. Beans is hungry, man. Not
Alright.
in two ways. he's hungry.
Bro.
To prove himself, everybody
Bro.
to go check episode 29.
He likes it.
Live
Okay,
in
Can we
person
just leave
in
him
Dallas,
be for
Texas.
one
Bro, but he's been
Post-
losing weight, bro.
Bro, he
Champs.
actually looks good.
I'm
Yeah,
here
for
with,
real.
as always,
He asked me to
No, it
change
wasn't
his.
that.
I did a
11,
video
and you're
recently where
right.
he was like rooming or
EU
something
go.
to join the team.
Trei.
And it was like his
0.
old picture from when he
How
was
the
on
hell are we
Toronto Ultra,
doing?
like
Wow.
EU or whatever it was.
Wow.
And he was
He was
looking,
big. Yeah,
he
no,
was
I
big,
can't see
and he
his
was
violence.
looking sweaty. Like he looked like he'd come out of a
Well, the
serious
thing is, yeah, it's
battle,
just like, I'm just
you know, like survival session in there.
yeah, no,
His shit was sweaty. Like it wasn't the best picture. And he DM'd me
definitely
like,
weird being
"Bro,
here with
Rap,
the
you
boys,
gotta
like,
change his
you know,
picture."
doing a
I'm like,
podcast
okay,
like
send
this,
me the
but
best quality
I'm
version.
not-
of
I
the
feel-
content.
I'm
rooting for you, you know.
Listen,
I got it.
I feel like,
tell that
yeah.
story a little bit. What happened? Maybe if they
It's
don't
been
know
a
what
little
happened.
bit of a. I want to
fill 'em
say
in.
either's been eating better or revenge or whatever that.
Me and
Like,
Rab
ever since that accident
arrived
got-
in the great state of Texas.
Honestly,
Oh
though,
yeah.
He broke his back.
He
Pulled
broke his
up
back actually. Yeah.
outside.
Carrying
Rab
the team
died.
too hard.
Boy,
Free
his
ain't
disc.
working.
Nah,
He didn't break his
He
back.
broke his back.
So
Take number 1.
he was walking with a
pull
cane.
up.
Like,
Yeah, he goes
we
back.
get to
back
every
burner.
taxi along the line looks
Dude.
fire. We got
Dude.
GMCs.
We're
we've got
fucking criminal on this show.
nice
we are
cars.
criminal.
Pull up to the
yeah, no,
front.
sleeper pick. That's my top sleeper pick for this
No wonder
event.
no one took a taxi.
And now Boston
'Cause this
Breach.
thing
Let's
was
get to them.
horrendous.
Just because
beat up Toyota Camry, no AC.
we have to assess the team.
I was like, are we sure
I
we're
want
gonna
to start
have to get
here.
this thing?
I do
I
want
was
to start honestly.
Very close.
And I'm gonna give my
to
take.
just calling
You
it
guys
off.
can roast
veto
me.
it?
Maybe the
Yeah.
chat or not chat.
And I wish he did because I want to
Fine,
lost my
fine.
stuff.
You guys can roast me,
anyway,
but
this
it's
guy's
a weird
blaring
pickup to
out
me, right?
classical music.
This is
in the
Cammy,
car. He's got
arguably
no
Cammy's
AC.
That's
worst
what got
game.
me hooked though.
When he's
I
in
am-
the
When
league.
Chopin fucking.
He's It's not banging his arguably. head.
Pretty
Is
number
Awakening's
six.
worst
I
game.
was-
Rab is just
Rab,
vibing.
no,
Yeah.
I looked at Rab.
Surge
I'm
couldn't
sat
buy
like
himself
this,
a
like,
kill.
I'm
He was a
dying.
gap filler.
I look at Rab. Rab's like,
And Snoopy had the worst year in Call of Duty history,
Oh, guys.
or the second worst year in Call of Duty
you
history.
you
excuse me.
not heard this before? I was like, Rab, when would I ever listen to classical
Why
music?
put them together?
And yeah, no, I got out
Alright,
of the car
listen,
because
I
I
will
wanted to get out there as
say,
quick as I can.
I will
and
say,
just
Purge being on
left
Vegas
everything in there.
certainly
And then
was not.
turns out when we
fit
try
for
bringing
Purge
up the taxi company,
in
the
terms of
guy
fact,
is
like,
like illegally working for him.
We looked
Oh,
at
really?
it.
Okay.
Basically, he
role
like
player.
he used to be a
But
part of
in
him.
challenges, he's actually a
Probably got
pretty
fired or
decent
something
fryer.
like that.
Now this could
Kept
be
the
another
car,
situation
kept
where
the stuff.
I'm surprised he got
paper,
fired.
Yes.
we're gonna find out.
Has his
Jet
first year
taxi
competing in
stuck
league,
in the
let's
side
cut
of
some
it.
slack.
Like,
Yeah, it's
especially
just,
on a team when you've got attach.
yeah, no, I'm
You've
just
got Geo,
Now you're
and
just-
attach is known for being
Stop.
slow.
No,
I'm just a no man.
Bleep that out. First, I mean, too early in the pod, slow. Can't say that.
I think he's a slower player than
Well,
most.
not this. We'll keep. Well,
I think he
I hope you find your way home.
For sure.
And to
And
my
I-
right, maybe your guys'
I-
engagement speaking. We've got
The
Giga Chad himself.
Engagements is kind of a line stat. though.
Rabito. Yeah, I see
How you doing, baby?
Nah, I did.
Like, you could finish-
I did too much out this weekend.
With 60 kills.
July looking good
Finish
though.
59
Yeah, what a
and one.
weekend.
You could finish with 50
I can't
interactions.
believe it.
And
Usually I
me
go
49
first.
and 1.
On the
So,
intro.
like,
He also had 3 guys who were just getting
Yeah.
What's that about?
Well,
He
my-
got the
my-
crazy
My
stories
point
on
is
Twitter, to be
that
fair.
everyone deserves a
Or
second chance,
nothing?
especially Purge when
Yeah,
you
no,
got
Nah,
dropped. Like,
you've got Paris.
No, I've been going through it the
Vegas.
last few days,
Can we
but
call
you know,
Paris?
to
No,
be
you gotta
fair,
have-
most
you
of
gotta
the
have
time
a
I
Legion,
like
man.
Paris.
Hit him with the Legion, man. Hit him
I'm
with
just
the
trying to
Legion.
bed
Anyway,
on time.
No,
we have to
it's
cut
actually
some
no
slack.
bullshit though. Like,
Especially when he
said,
did
like,
get dropped
You guys
from
are probably like,
Vegas.
yeah, okay, Rab, you're probably
They
going
fell
out, something like that.
fast.
He's
They fell off.
legitimately
Legitimately
was valuable.
They-
By
they
8,
fell
9
off the,
o'clock, he's like, all right, boys, I'm gonna
Vegas
go
fit.
wrap it up. I'm gonna get to bed. I gotta
Yeah,
be up
it
this
looked
time, go watch a
horrendous.
race. I
So,
gotta
we've
be
got
up,
cut
film
some slack with
four
that.
videos.
Snoopy.
Like, it's really mechanical.
one of the
It's almost
worst,
to the point.
let's say, like, one of the worst teams
Yeah, on God.
statistics possible,
People
like, with
asked
the
me
way
that
they
shit
placed at the
before.
end of the year.
But to be fair, it's been a good
If
week.
we're giving
for
Purge
content,
another
like,
shot,
'cause the F1
fuck it,
shit
we're giving
was
another
on.
shot.
I was
Like,
getting
this
up
is it.
at
Like, this is a shot. If you
quarter
can't do it with
6,
Slasher,
making COD video,
you can't do
making
it with
Valorant
everyone else. You
video,
can't do it with
watching a
Priester.
race,
Like,
making video, heading to the
Maybe a bunch of
venue,
young guns, maybe
running
not
the
young guns, or
pre-show,
guys with
running
something
the
to prove.
watch party,
You know,
heading
right
back,
with Cam.
making the content.
Yeah, maybe he's got
And then
something to
fucking
prove.
maybe he doesn't like Americans.
That was-
You know?
I think you
Yeah.
forgot
Yeah.
about
That might be
Maybe
it. Who
you
knows? At the
don't
end of
like
the day,
Americans.
maybe that's what it is. Cam might just be the guy for it.
I think
Yeah,
that
I
Boston
think
just
you
went
cocktail
with the
with Trey.
easy
That was
choice.
it. Day
They
one,
went with
cocktail
a
with
team
Trey.
that's already
Day
been
two,
made in
cocktail.
I love
challenges.
how he's
that are
making
a
it
top
seem like it
team.
was one cocktail.
Today's probably the
Chose
only
3
day I
plays
haven't
from them,
drank
which, like,
because I had too much to drink.
You had a
Come
sip
to Saudi,
on mine,
because
though. realistically,
Yeah, it
you've
was
got
a
no
small
other
sip.
option.
It doesn't count.
It looked
It's
pretty
an
big.
event. You come with us. You think you're good. You want to play with Snoopy.
Nah, last night was
Do
all
I think they're
It
gonna
was
do
a good
very
time.
well?
Though. It was a good time. It was the you know
Sunday night
the
after
issue
party,
is
you always
right,
gotta
the
dip.
private
The team
after party.
performs.
Saw the
It's
the
just
boys,
Yom
the
at Brooklyn
OpTic boys were
team
celebrating. It was a
challenges.
great time.
But
networking.
without-
People are out.
You know, we
everyone's
got
finally
no-
stress free.
You know why I'm there? Pro Like, Loop.
I'm having a look.
And we got
I'm like,
Snoopy and Seth. That's simp. So
They
it's
did,
like
they did just get second, so we'll like.
They got
Yeah,
second.
They got second with Pro Loop.
Yeah, they got second with
Okay,
Pro
we're
Loop
diving
in
into this play.
challenges.
Okay, before we get too
So it's
deep
like,
into
they
it,
ain't setting the world on fire to
I mean,
me.
let's review.
The
I
other
guess,
concern I
weekend,
got
how,
is
you know,
that
what we think about
Snoopy, we talked
some of the
about
results, some of the
who he
games,
needs
some
as
of
a
the
player, like,
storylines,
to help him
how
grow,
it concluded.
help him
Obviously,
improve,
after
this type of
taking it.
And
I'll start with Trei
Obviously,
on this
they've
one.
had
we
some
started
players
over
that
here.
they've tried to help.
You know what? Actually, let's
get
start with
that
Rab.
out of
You
him.
started the
Slash
conversation.
was
Let's
there
go
this
back
year.
to Rab with this one.
Priest was there this
I just
year.
want to talk
Reflecting
about the
back
Major
on
Main
Maniac
Festival,
turned up there
like
this
just
year.
the actual event itself. Like,
Are we just abandoning
because
ship on that?
when they said it was
it doesn't
gonna be
seem
in
to me
Allen,
that
not
Cammy
in
and Wake are going to be the
the
guys to be
downtown
sitting
Dallas.
down
It
with
already
Snoopy going over
down
VOD,
Dallas.
teaching him how to
With
play the
Hashtag's
game. No, they're not.
because it was meant to be at the
Well,
American
then-
Airlines.
Cammy's a veteran.
It's actually
Respectfully, like, yeah.
But I think they're just
They're
going to
doing
go
some
for a fuck it,
renovations
let's
there
just
or
run
some
at these
shit.
guys.
They couldn't run it
mentality.
as
Yes.
they wanted to run it.
They're gonna go
So
with the challengers
instead, they
mentality.
ran it up here. And initially,
Yeah,
when
that's
I
a
heard,
challengers
I was
play
like,
card.
it's kind of
Yeah.
out of the
It's
way.
fucking
I
run,
was
slide, and shit on
packed
somebody.
the venue's
You ain't
gonna
winning
be,
an event.
But
like,
let's
when
also
it's
not
gonna
let's
be
also
sold
not
out.
forget that
But oh my
three
god,
players
like,
that are playing with
we've
Snoopy
got to
have played in
run
CDL.
it back with stuff like this as
100%.
much as possible.
It's not like they just
It's
picked
these,
up three
like,
amateurs, they
hockey
just picked up
stadiums,
three challenger players.
or
I said at the beginning, though,
anything
these
to
are
that
three
effect.
guys.
You can run the center
Purge,
stage.
you
I
gave
know
your
there's been
reasoning
lots
on
of
the
talk about it on
exception.
Twitter
so
today.
I'll
Like
leave matter
JP
for now.
was talking about
These are
it.
two
Ben was
guys
talking
at least
about
who've
it,
had their
like,
pretty
coaching
ar-
to JP.
for one of them arguably the
About,
worst year in the CDL.
trying to
And
do
the
this
second
as
guy,
much as possible.
Awakening,
because
literally
that was
his
the
worst
setup you gotta
year
go for, the
in
center
COD
stage,
of all time.
The amount of trash
I think
talk
they're both-
generated,
I think they're both
the fact that you've got all the
peaked and
fans
do
around
it
everything,
consistently.
the walk
Cammy had
out
it
to the
consistently.
crowd
Awakening
every
didn't do it
time.
consistently?
Like it was
What?
nothing like
Awakening
I've
did
ever
it
seen at a
consistently.
COD event before. And
He
in
was a-
terms of
he was a
fans, it must be
walking
the most fans I've ever had. at
1.1, 1.2.
I've always said that
games in a row.
I've always said
ever
Wake's like,
because if you remember
and
Black
I
Ops
feel like it's a genuine
3,
consensus
the
for, like,
COD
1000,
Next, remember COD
probably
Next?
Rab, and maybe
That was
you.
in
I feel like
COD
he was
XP. Yeah, that was in the
probably
Forum Los
the
Angeles.
most
That's like
useless
15,000
1.2
people.
possibly
But
was.
to be fair, there was a reveal of a game. There was paintballing. Okay,
Oh,
crazy
okay.
stuff. Not a
happening
not
there,
so Wake hate
in
emojis
terms of
is
the
back
CDL
for
for
me.
sure.
Yeah, I mean,
CDL,
it is. I
100%
see your
was
angle.
Listen,
but it's
I-
still a
now-
1.2.
now listen, I
yeah, the
speak
center
for many
station.
people
I
when
think
we
I was
see
telling
this
you guys
guy play when he
on
when
Dope
he did
Check,
drop his 1.2s.
when I came back from Major 4,
He
that
lost
they
a
were
lot.
previewing and
lost a
testing
lot.
out
He lost
the
a
idea
lot.
of having
Right, that,
stages facing each other.
No, we're not
Even though
doing
we had
that.
some
All
around
say
controversial
Steve
moments
wasn't
with Clay
that
standing up
Fortress
and
hard point when
Scrap
it was
saying
like
some crazy stuff,
37
but
and 13 for the loss.
it honestly made the content good.
Yeah.
It made it so much more
I see your
interactive.
angle, but
And
regardless,
I think we
great
all
fan
agree here,
experience
as
all
much
the
as
way
we
around.
agree at that
OpTic
point,
killed it.
You know, it was more like an OpTic. I know we're talking about
If
that, but there's a
they-
little bit of controversy as well. Like
They're not beating
more
like an OpTic
you know what I'm saying?
event
Like they're not beating
than it was
FaZe,
a
OpTic,
quote unquote
New York
everybody champs event.
This team at best,
Trei, I don't know
is
if you have a take
beating
on that.
Rocket.
This is the problem. Like,
mean,
like,
dude,
it's just the
I'm sorry, I
ambition.
just think at best.
Nah,
that's
nah,
what-
because I've actually got
found
good
out that
belief
OpTic
in
works.
Rocket.
No, I
League.
no,
Yeah.
I do too, but I'm saying like, they're a
We
sleeper
talk
pick
about OpTic.
to beat the sleeper picks. You get
OpTic
what I'm
hosts
saying?
every
I don't think
major. If
Boston
we're
can
being
beat
talk, if
Boston.
we're talking
I
about
just think
fan-wise, they
Boston,
have
like,
every.
they gotta consider
have home
what are they
advantage
trying to
over
do as a
Basically,
franchise.
You know,
Like,
right? That's my
you
point.
know,
Yeah,
are we
yeah,
are we
broader
going?
point.
Let's say
'cause the
Toronto
last
versus
couple of
OpTic at
years,
Toronto
they've been
major,
trying to
like,
win.
they're gonna have more
right? They've been
Toronto
trying to
fans there.
spend big cash
But
to win.
as soon as
shit.
fucking
hell
you
you
could
could
afford
Ultra
to go out, or they OpTic are playing, or you say
Well,
they're
like,
trying to
genuinely
win.
last
Fuck
year,
me.
people
And
thought
guess
they
what
might have
team's
been the
right?
fifth best
An
team.
OpTic Texas
And they
jersey.
turned out they were dog shit. At least
Do I
after
think
Major
there
1. They got
was
some points Major 1.
crowd cheese there?
But after that, it was an
There was
absolute
way more
shambles.
crowd cheese there for sure.
And this year,
in
you're
terms
thinking, okay,
of-
what's the plan
for
here
the
for
support
Boston?
from,
Like,
but
are
they
we
get crowd cheese
trying to
all
win
the
or are we
time.
going through the rebuilds?
Do I
Like,
agree
is
that
Robert
OpTic
Kraft
should have
saying,
had like the
I'd
rights
funded
to host
this
the
with
event like
insane
the way
cash
they did?
anymore?
I feel like it was a
Like,
little bit
unless
weird
Doug's coming up to him
considering
and saying, look, if you give me 3 mil,
it's
I'll buy
champs.
out
Everyone's
Sim.
gone there. Everyone's
Let's
made their
run
way
it. But
there.
that ain't happening.
I don't think
But
you buy
it just
that
felt like a
Sim.
bit
I don't
like
think
more
Sim
special
wants to
treatment
go
for
out to
OpTic.
Boston.
No, I
Also
agree.
Freeman.
Yeah, but
You
I
know, the
think
way they
I do
walked
have
out
Intel
with
here.
different
they got to
VIPs, you
wonder.
got
Okay,
Coach
we'll
banging
figure
the
it out.
drum.
I do have Intel.
It would have been nice if
From a
if
good
it was
source
like as
that
neutral as
Boston
like we got
are
made
still
out to
committed
be.
to
Like other
investing in
teams could have
COD,
been able to do
and
some
they
stuff
still
with
want to be
their stuff too.
at the forefront
But-
of COD, and they believe that they
I was just gonna say,
or
like,
their
end of the
belief
day,
is
like OpTic won the event fair and square.
they want
I
to
don't
keep
feel
going
like
to the
they have
point
the
where
home
they can
crowd
compete with the
event
top
every
4
single
and
event.
be in the conversation
Like,
and make
I
it
don't
more of a
think the
top
crowd-
5 or be
He doesn't
just
give
in
them
the top
competitive
4
advantage.
Nah,
in
nah,
place of them.
absolutely
So that's
not.
more direct source saying saying that like
It's
they have not
just-
given up. They're
I don't
invested.
know. It just seems weird
It's
to me
just-
that like they
for
deem
some
like
reason,
the whole
this is from
season to
same,
be
you know,
like
same
you're gonna make
person,
it to
same source.
champs. Yeah, a
They
team
don't-
can
they
host
don't
champs.
know-
Right.
Like that just
They
seems
don't
weird to
know.
me.
Right.
I mean, in an ideal world,
Essentially
the league
what-
has the cash to bloody host the biggest event.
They don't know how to get there. It
But,
seems like there's
I mean,
not
did
much
OpTic-
direction.
No,
And
their
their
crew.
That's-
Doug
that's
knows
essentially
what
what-
sports engine
Doug
crew
No,
is.
the issue
Stellar
is
job of
is
trust on
that
this event, absolutely. And I think
We're trusting. We're trying to trust. Listen, we're trying to trust.
in
doing
my
this next year,
opinion,
like Toronto
the
would do it.
people that are
They would
making
do a
the-
good job doing it, I
making
think.
the choices
That could be done.
are the higher ups.
You know, the
I don't know what
advantage
the
that
fuck
OpTic
they're
has, I don't think it was anything.
I mean, that's
crazy.
been the
Obviously, it was a
speculation as
talking
well
point
that,
going
like-
in. Obviously the big pressure on everything. Like in
Obviously,
some
behind the
ways,
scenes, when
there's
that
more
team
pressure
got
on OpTic
leaked,
because
that it was
kind
going to
of
be
expected,
Camiosity's
Yeah,
You're
Because
gonna win
Season
champs. Like this is the event. You're
Because,
gonna
like,
do it.
It could have been an
I mean,
negative,
even
right?
the
'Cause
current
Milwaukee-
team they
you
got
have
with
the
Awakening in
Dynasty
there instead.
walkout,
Yeah,
you have
I
all
don't
the
know if that's
green,
better.
you have
Yeah,
Hex, you have the
not
drums,
too much pretty
everything.
marginal.
Everything
Like,
is
this whole
on
Purge
your
Snoopy
back if
SMG
you're that
duo
OpTic
thing,
team to win this
questionable
champs.
at
It's
best to
all
me.
set up for
When
you.
that
So if you
happens,
lose, or
obviously
even
lots of criticism.
let's
What
say
the hell
round
are
one
these
to
guys
round two, you
doing?
bow out.
Super.
How
James was under
disappointing is this
pressure,
major
Zed's
now?
under pressure,
You know,
all
it
this
changes
and
up a
what he
lot. lot,
much
so-
about.
Yeah, we needed this
People
run. I mean,
speculating how
you know,
Doug's
the
involved
event,
and-
the storylines.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if after the backlash
the
to that,
crowd, like
there was some
also the way
behind
that
the
it was
scenes
executed.
discussion
Like
between
I was so impressed.
whoever the higher
at
ups are, because I don't
the
even know who
production
they are.
quality.
Yeah,
Like,
no one
they're
knows.
The
operating in the shadows
set up
over
on the
there, Boston.
screens, you know, even
But
the
I'm
screens going
sure there
around
was some
the venue,
conversations had as to like,
and the banners or whatever that would
you know,
fly around about
we've
what
trusted
team was playing.
this group of
the
guys to put
walkouts,
together rosters for the last couple of years.
It was just
We've
electric
kept
to
them
be
now.
in person.
Doug's
honestly.
going to be coming on board to give some
And
advice.
The orchestra, obviously, on
and
the
we're
Sunday,
still
like,
forming
I
ship
heard about
rosters.
that on
Okay, maybe I'm an
Wednesday,
upper
they had, like,
management
an
guy.
orchestra
I don't know if a
playing.
roster's
It's
good or
when we were
bad,
there
but
setting
I'm
some
looking at
things up
fan
Wednesday.
reaction.
I see fan reaction and
Like, I heard
numbers.
a
Like,
version
Yeah,
of, like,
exactly.
we're
or
last.
whatever.
And I'm
That was
seeing
not the
results.
full version.
And I'm
And I
seeing
was
us put
like,
together a
something's
team that the
going
fan
on.
base
This is
is
the classical
roasting.
version.
And I'm
Oh,
saying,
classical
you know,
version.
tickling
someone's
my
going to be held
ears.
accountable for this.
Yeah.
So my
Yeah.
thinking is like,
The
look, whoever's
Chopin
put this team
remix.
There
together.
we
for
go, there we
EWC,
go,
it's
there
a
we
big
go.
God, I
moment
can't
because
wait till
if
they
they
get
come in
rid
and
of
bomb
that
out of
song, bro.
EWC,
Nah,
I-
it's
guarantee
iconic.
you Boston
It's
are
iconic,
running
bro.
down
I would
situation.
pay
Like,
some
they
serious
are
money.
I don't
running
think
it
this
down.
team's
Down
here
the
to
song,
stick.
bro.
I think this
Sends
sends
me
me
up
as a
the
quick
fucking
pickup. It's
wall.
free players that replay each other and just wanna go to event with a different team.
It was good. Listen, it was cooler hearing it
Play with
orchestrated.
Snoopy.
That's for sure.
Yeah, that it was so
What I
sick
think-
that way.
The
But
issue with the Boston
the song
team is-
still sucks ass.
As the organization is like what your guys are
It's
saying.
so
is like
bad.
They're
I
trusting
was walking
the
back
people
with my drink and I was
and
like,
just throwing them the money for it.
decent
Now,
version. This was
if we're
going on.
talking
Look
like that's the
outside.
case,
Violent.
Boston
Fucking
might be
true,
into
like
what's
everything.
serious.
bro.
It was
Every
serious.
drama.
I think Optic did a
now we're
a
going to
stellar
talk
job.
about
I guess the other thing as well,
We've
like
got
when you're backstage and stuff, it's not like
a player
what I
drama.
was kind of not
Players that have
worried
already
about,
gone.
but at the Esports Stadium Arlington,
Priester.
when they used to do the Optic home
I'm sure
majors
he
there,
has things
like
to
Optic
say.
would have
He has
Austin,
things to
you know what I mean?
say,
Like,
and
they'd have the
and
biggest
rosters he's
room,
gonna
they'd have
shake
the
up.
pool
And
table,
Austin,
they'd have the table tennis
he
table,
he
they had all
hasn't
the
even told
space,
Where
everyone.
were they sat this
and
time?
stuff in the con-
Yeah.
They were just with everyone
You know,
else.
They had a regular PPA.
Like they had a regular PPA
What about
setup,
if the coaches
just like
get
every
dropped?
other team.
I didn't see him. I
They're-
didn't see
There are
him at the
14
back. Was
coaches.
that what
There's
it was?
gonna be
Yeah,
things
yeah,
said about
there's
that
another
too.
one of the spots.
You know,
They
when
were
B Sport
the,
Josh got
uh,
released,
If you walk
It
in
was
the
just
back door,
laughter on
turn
the
left,
timeline.
they were like
Because-
the one on the
Fuck did
left,
B
right
Sport
corner
Josh doesn't do that either.
because
They had a
because we're
regular
sat there saying, oh, the
setup like
coaches
every
might
other
need
team.
we
So it
might need to
wasn't-
replace some
In
coaches.
terms of the practice
Let's see, you know, they just-
facilities or the setup backstage,
Hang
it was,
on.
they had the
Yeah.
same shit as
The
everyone
main
else,
coach?
just a
Nah, we'll get
curtain,
rid of
4
Josh.
PCs,
Yeah.
You know,
and,
so
that
I
was
think
good.
Boston.
like,
I think if you guys are excited
I don't
about
think there was
rosters
anything.
and
People are
drama,
going to talk
I
about it.
think
Obviously, in an
Boston's
ideal world,
the team to watch
probably
for the
that's not how
summer.
it is,
Just
but
because I think
I
drama-wise,
mean,
there's
it
going to be a
turned
lot
out
of
to be
stuff
great,
coming out
like,
about the organization.
as long as other rules.
I also just my
the
last point on
opportunity
Boston.
to
Just it's kind of wild
so
if
in
you
the
look from the
future,
start
I
of the year
guess.
to now how
I mean,
the
I just look at
narrative
it like
for that
in
organization
terms
has
of,
gone
like-
from actual love to hate.
like Champions League
the start of this
finals
year,
and
they were
stuff like
loved.
that. It's
Slasher,
is
Priesta,
it the
Boston.
same with,
they're
like,
you know
Super Bowl?
Snoopy
OX.
was
It's
gassed
like
as
a-
well,
in a
obviously.
neutral
Yeah,
location
yeah.
as well.
Snoopy
People
was
wanted to
gassed.
see
You
Snoopy,
don't
like,
they don't
take the
see,
next
yeah,
level
be the
away
next
to-
guy who's
Unless
hyped
there's
up.
like an
There was a lot
issue
of
with, like,
love
one
for
of
the
the
org. Like they
stadiums
were
with,
like
like,
what
committed.
they were
Nine times
committed.
out of
They
10
had
it's
the
like
bag.
neutral ground.
They were putting forth,
Hosting events.
hosting the events.
That's
It was
that's
all
my
love
only
for
issue.
this
with it.
organization.
It just have to.
But then
if
by
I was
now,
another CDO team,
that
I'd be
narrative
like,
amongst fans,
you know,
Reddit,
Especially 'cause they
Twitter,
wanted
has
that, right?
shifted
If you're a Boston
completely.
fan as well, like,
yeah, no,
We're gonna have
that
a little bit more of a narrative, a
can't
little more
like that,
drama.
dude.
Obviously,
yeah,
I had this
it's
on
embarrassing.
the show.
No, I will
Everyone was
say
like
this.
basically saying like,
COD has the
"Oh,
best
you
fans
know,
of all
Trey's
time.
moaning again.
Purely
because
based on the fact,
I'm
though,
just looking at it as a
they were
competitor.
like, oh my god, this
and
Boston
like
team's
an
so
org
good. Oh my
standpoint,
god,
like,
on
oh yeah,
paper.
everyone has the
Watch them
opportunity
play
to play
one
champs. If
match.
they said, oh,
Wow, this
I
Boston
still
team's
win.
ass.
Yeah, team's dog shit.
They're always
Oh my
fucking
god.
And like they'll roast
Yeah,
the players.
Optic
roast
wanna
them.
do it. It's
I'm
not
from
saying no.
Boston,
Yes.
and I don't even support
On the other
Boston.
hand,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
just
they,
to say that,
they'll
like,
do that kind
they-
of stuff. I also
Rob
think
was saying-
players.
Trey was
obviously
saying
there's, like, hype
it was
and
an
stuff like
incredible
that,
electric
but
event.
I think
I think
players
it
are gonna,
sets the
like-
standard for
It's like I said
hopefully
to
for
everyone, stay
next
away from Twitter,
season
stay away from
what
social
just a
media, play your
regular
own game, do
major
this,
should
because
look
I
like.
can promise you,
If we
Snoopy
can get to Toronto, it'll sell out, and you could have
just-
something really
he was
special
probably
happening.
bombarded all
Esports
year.
engineering being part of it can now
Us.
implement these things
Yeah,
into
yeah.
another
We're
arena,
part of
another
it, for sure,
place,
you know.
and we could
But
kind
we
of level up the
We
COD
will.
experience
We
for
don't care.
viewers. Because otherwise, I mean, I respect
I
fan
respect
experience
players on a
isn't
personal
there when they
level,
pull up to an
but we're
event
gonna have
with
that
that much
conversation when
excitement.
it comes
It's whack
to
like it was in
what you're doing again.
respectfully
We
Miami.
have to.
If we don't, then we're not doing. I don't think
Yeah, we're not
anyone
coming
that went to
live,
Miami
yeah.
would want to go
We're
to a
just
COD
coming
event
here.
again.
Occupation.
Honestly,
Yes,
genuinely.
yes, yes.
And I don't mean any disrespect to the
Yeah.
Miami.
Well,
you put it that
organization.
way, and now I feel kind of fucked up. Now I feel a little
Nah,
bit.
but the
That
players
was very
understand. They know
lackluster
it's
and
nature
very
of the scene.
disappointing.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
some
I-
do. It's like a
some do.
thousand
No,
fans
for,
don't.
no, for real.
No,
but
I
the
mean,
top players,
that is true. Some
no,
do.
the top
Let's
players
just say it like
understand
that.
that.
If we're
Like,
slandering
don't
them, I
pull
don't
up saying you're gonna
slander,
host a
that's
major and
actually-
deal with that shit show. If
I
we're
mean, you get
like
Carolina,
you-
who get Carolina,
or
who just
attempting
last
to give
second
up.
backed
Yeah.
out. That's even worse. to be
Yeah,
honest.
fuck those
do
two.
anyway.
If they should do
That's even worse.
Like
so.
we've had
At least
players,
they
you've
like
had
yeah,
players
Miami
come
at
up
least
to
are
us
hosting an
like,
event.
but like even talking shit on the show, we've got like
You ain't
this is
wrong.
what I'm talking about. Yeah, if we're gonna go
the
like this,
better
we either go
personality
from the
player
best
will
event at
come
the
in
start of the year and we just trickle
acknowledge
down to the
what we're
worst,
saying
or we go
is true,
worst to the best,
or they'll
Don't give us-
correct something, or give us
don't
some,
give us,
tell
like-
us something like, oh, right now you it's don't know like what's
this.
actually happening.
Yeah,
This is-
yeah.
This is
start
the drama.
all over. We
of
start
why
off
this
with
is happening.
Boston,
Okay,
decent event.
now we
Pretty
know.
good, you know,
Good to
we
know.
head over to Major 2.
I won't bring that up,
Terrible.
reinforce it, whatever it may be. It's a different conversation.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10 we don't
Major
actually
four.
spout shit.
Wow, even
Go,
lower
it's just
than
there
Major
for you,
two.
Go,
Except when I said the best of the best. Except
I mean,
when
from what
Snoopy
I
didn't
heard
dap me up
for
and I lost
next
my
year,
mind.
obviously we
That
can't
time I
say
chatted shit,
over
okay?
dinner last
That
night.
time I'll admit I chatted absolute caca shit. Yo,
one
there's
time.
something to
We
be.
might be back next year.
We might be back.
Yo,
There's a reason to be very excited. Every other time it's just
bro, it just makes me laugh. It was just like,
I
nah,
honestly think that the
I got
live
something
events,
crazy.
on average,
I
are just
got
getting
beef with someone.
they're getting back to
Fuck
and
happened with you?
probably now surpassing the best ones. What it was. No receipt, CDL.
No respect,
receipt.
no
London
dog.
No respect to
2019,
me.
And then Anaheim
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah, but the issue with those is you
Fuck,
can't.
hey,
even
what the
do a
fuck?
comparison
Disrespect
to-
the stocks.
Come on,
It's
brother.
true. It's
Come
different
on,
nowadays because you
brother.
ain't got
They
the
should make
brother
the
stream, you ain't
fucking
got the challenges in the same
It's-
round.
it's not even that, it's just like-
betting
like-
institute is a
Yeah,
strong,
no.
is a
Take,
strong
like,
The
place.
Mexican
CWO
stock
Atlanta,
market is
for example.
cooked when they start shorting that
That's
shit.
a mediocre.
It's all its truth is.
But then, like,
About
the way I
$100 to
see
make
it
all go
nowadays
down.
is like,
No big deal. That's not the American stock
like,
market. It is
CWO
what it is.
London and CWO Anaheim are now
but,
like
I
the
mean,
Toronto's.
any of the topics
Yeah.
that we covered,
Yeah.
yes. Topics that
We haven't
I
really
think
had
we wrapped
those
it up.
events.
I think
in
we
the
got- we
last
tackled
couple-
everything here.
Yeah, no, the- all the
a couple
teams
of
have been-
years. Obviously, COVID didn't
I don't
help.
think there's been any
But
new
when
teams
the
that-
CDL first
No, new
started,
players.
the
I mean,
quality of the
EWC
events
this
was
year just adds the
terrible
change,
compared
right?
to what we
It's
had
just
the
a
year
new
before.
thing.
Like going to London.
As
home
far as I
series,
know, EWC
2020,
is around to stick,
like,
by the
everyone
way.
there
So
was
like,
this is ass compared to
we're gonna
last
see
year.
it
There's multiple reasons why,
year in, year
but
out, hopefully. So
nowadays,
we will
they're
get
getting back to the point.
It's
where
good for
these
COD,
events
good for
are-
gaming in general.
I don't
we get
think
to see champs
there's
and then
been a
another
better
massive
time
tournament with
for some of
players
these live
excited and
events. Like,
these
the amount of
weird
people that
minor
come to
roster
the live
changes that are
events, I know
happening.
that
Kind of
the
like a little preview,
overall
little glimpse
viewership of the league might not
for
be
what could
as
happen
good as it
during
was last
Rostermania.
year, like no Twitch and all this.
So that's
But
I guess
for
it's a
the
positive
live
time for the
event
COD scene.
experience,
Can't
the
wait for
amount
Black
of
Ops
people
6.
I
Can't wait for
talk to and
EWC.
meet that
We
are
will
like,
be
this is
watch
my
partying
first event.
EWC
The
as well.
majority of people I think I
So
talked
we will
to
be
this
there,
event
not
is their
there,
first ever
but we will
club.
be
I will
And,
say
like,
is
watching
that-
it
one
with
of them was like, I'm coming.
Well,
if they
well,
want
well,
to fly us
listen,
out,
yeah.
what gets
I
them to
said-
keep reoccurring
Basically,
in one
anyone that
fly
comes
and
to
show
these
up?
good
Yeah,
events
why
will wanna
not? Throw
come
us a
in.
little
I
bag.
will say I do hope they
I'll
try
start
and
speaking
keep,
Arabic
like-
for no reason.
Hey,
Make it
EWC.
happen.
Obviously, I don't deal with logistics.
If you want
and
the
I'm
English
fucking
prince
head
here,
off.
that's me,
but
bro.
just make the
I'm the
price a
English
little bit lesser so people can come to
Because
these
that's the
events
king.
more.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the people that I
I'm a
did
Saudi
speak to,
prince.
they were
Excuse
just
me.
like, yeah,
Sorry,
no, I'm
today
here
I'm a
for,
Saudi
like, I was
prince.
like, because
If you want a Saudi prince,
Thank you.
the English prince.
Thank you.
And I'm like, oh, you're here a weekend? Nah, I could only
Rab.
make it to Saturday,
And
Sunday.
And Rab.
And Rabbit, yeah, so
know.
it's
Which is-
EWC, sorry.
Obviously, that's
They
just
still
the way
got
of
the
life.
ESWC too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
we
Yeah,
all
they
we all
both.
agreed this event was pretty expensive. Like,
And you
to
want
come as
us
a
to be
fan.
the
And if you did
the aura.
I mean, you know, a lot of fans were buying
The people
buying
there.
these drinks, people
You
making
know, so we
everyone
know they got a
happy.
bit of Mueller up there.
I think you
But-
should book as a PJ. The same with like red
People going to
carpets,
like these London
Yeah.
events,
Rolls
stuff like
We
Royces.
that.
want all that shit.
And
I
want
feel
one
like we
camel,
lost
only
a
one
lot
camel.
of
You
like.
bring me one camel, I
fan
come right
love
now.
when
Get on the plane
the
right now, I come
CDL
for one
first
camel.
came
Okay,
in.
brother.
And when the CDL first came in, I felt like it was it was their way.
There we
of
go, just like that. Rab, any
maximising
final thoughts?
profit.
No, just
Like
one of them.
with the
I mean,
London
this is
event,
probably
remember
the
the events
best
where
event.
you could
I
pay
thought Toronto was the best
pay
event
to
I've been
sit
to.
behind the main stage.
Obviously, London was phenomenal,
behind
but
the
it's different
CDL
time now
logo.
to what it was back then.
You guys remember
Definitely in the
that?
last 5
I
years.
do remember that.
Toronto
You
was the
don't?
best event I've been to,
I
but
think
this
it was in
event
Minnesota. I don't.
took the cake
Someone can
in many ways.
you
That's how
know,
it should
the
be.
opening
The
weekend.
World Championship should be
I
the
think
biggest. It
something
should be
like
the
that
best.
might. But I think I tried doing it for all the
I thought
events.
Toronto
But
was good for
you
storylines,
paid
but
extra.
wow,
You get to
this
sit
event was killer.
behind the podium.
Oh, I
Just
actually
take-
do
I think
remember
Toronto was
that.
better just
It was
because
the
of
week,
Toronto
like
Messi.
the famous
Correct. It is a
moment
controversial
where
take, not gonna lie.
I
It
mean,
is.
and formal.
I mean, you ain't wrong.
Talking trash to
I walked out.
Toronto's a better city than Allen, Texas. I mean, let's be real. No offense to actually all offense to Allen, Texas. Dog shit.
I walked out of
And that's my
Toronto
point. That's
and I
like the
had
VIP experience,
the
but
world
like
at my hands, the world at my feet. I walked
in
out. and I
CWO
was
days,
like,
it was like
got car
you
park.
bought your
You have
ticket.
to fucking walk a mile to
Some
get
people
to
It
in and
is
out.
I think you
insane,
paid a little
like,
bit extra to
my
get
hotel's kinda
front row
close.
seats,
It's
but
like
after
2-minute
that,
drive.
free for all.
But it takes
now
15,
it's
20
like
minutes to
go a
walk
bit
there.
crazy,
It's
which
just
is
the way the
cool,
city's
which I
designed.
like.
Yeah.
But
It's such
you
a
know,
bad city.
Right,
the one
like,
thing that
yeah.
makes
Allen,
it the
Texas,
best for fans.
Allen, Texas, with all
Like,
respect,
it's not
but
even close.
If they did in Dallas, maybe a little bit better.
So
If
I
it
hope
was
we
an
can
American
find like a
Airline
good,
Center. Wow,
a good way
it would
to
have been
balance it all
insane.
out to where we
That
get,
would have been
like,
insane. But
an event
guys,
like this every single time.
thank you. I
So
want more
you know,
consistency.
this is our
more
first.
Toronto's, more this.
It's not wrapped up, but
even
I mean,
more
technically
Boston
for the
if we get
pod
events
season
like that throughout
This
the
is
whole
the
year.
first
I think
official
viewership
end
and
to the
people
season
actually want
for
to show up and
Dope Check.
invest.
Our
Our
first
team
season in progress. We've given you guys about
29th episode,
quality
about
breeds
30
quality.
episodes.
That's just kind of how
Equally
life
about
works, right?
200 million
But
hours.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
the
Hour in
hour
itself.
unbelievable amount of hours. You can go back
it.
into the catalog and have
yourself.
endless content
OpTic
for whatever you
Texas,
guys want to do.
winners of
We
the
thank
event.
you so much
Huge.
for
I think
supporting the
that's huge
show
for the COD scene as a
you know,
whole.
From the
right?
ground up, when it was just me and
what do we
Rab,
think about their
honestly
run?
not knowing what would happen,
And
whether it was going to be good, or it was
them-
bad, whether people would watch or not.
Actually,
was eventually
honestly,
realizing this
it
is
was
going
a
somewhere.
kind of a
Let's get a
they
pro on
kinda
here
destroyed
with
New
a
York
great
in the
opinion,
finals,
a great face.
And what do we think
doing
about the
big
run?
things, trying to
It's pretty
stream, do
rare
it
to
all.
win a
Great
tournament,
face, what the hell?
especially nowadays, without
And
losing.
get him on as well. Get
Yes.
his
Like, the
competitive
tournaments that
spirit
they
on here
won.
as well. We brought Trey
Even-
along. It's
okay,
been
the
an
Vanguard
amazing
tournament,
journey
did they win that
from
probably
top
all
to
the way
bottom.
through? because
So we thank you for supporting us. Next year we'll be back in the off season. Don't worry, more content's coming. We will, unlike these other shows, you know,
it doesn't
that are
seem
silly
this
goose
simple
time
at
and
any other event.
vacation.
Even if they win or lose,
it's always like we're bringing the dog. We're bringing the dog to the content game,
or they're out of it. There's
Don't
like
check to the
insane
moon.
methods. This one just
Breaking
kind of
point
seemed
to
like
the moon.
It almost seemed like they were taxed into
Tactical
it.
Rab,
Genuinely,
Trei
yeah.
Zero,
I think
Ace the Stocksman.
the Gorillas series,
Love you
like,
guys.
when they
We'll
won
see
that
you
game
guys
2 Surge,
next week for
that was
whatever
a big
version of
moment.
Dope Check
I mean,
we have
everyone
next
talked about
week.
before the event, like, game 2
We love you
Surge
guys, and
against
we're
LG
out.
was going to be like one of the most important maps.